Hello, everybody. It's Monday night, and we are the Paper Dungeon. That's the night that we stream the main campaign. That's what we're here. We played Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And guess what, everybody? It's episode 10. We made it to double digits, and we didn't fall apart completely. It only took way longer than expected. I'm Aaron. I am the DM. I'm the dungeon master for this main campaign this season. That's what I do. And just for a little bit of hope, we're going to do some introductions. Now you can go.
I'm DJ. I play Oda Amana here on the Paper Dungeon. I wasn't sure if you were going to do like, oh, by the way, here's an introductions, or if you're just going to be like, I'm Aaron, I'm the DM, and then I'm supposed to go with it. We'll cut it out in post. Anyway, that's me. I'm DJ. I play Oda.
I'm Gracie. I play Addie.
I'm Drew. I play Talith.
Jar Jar, and I play Medora.
I'm Grant, and I play Leslie.
Wow, we suck.
I'm so exciting that we did it. Grant, do you have a fun fact for us today?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you wanted one. Giraffes hum to communicate. Just so you know. That is it's like a low hum.
That's also how I communicate. That's crazy.
That's
weird.
You have no idea.
Could you give us an example of this humming? You know, I'd love to hear what you think it's like.
I'm imagining it sounds like a contrabass.
Sounds like.
I was gonna say, actually, that could make sense because, like, I don't know giraffe anatomy, but with how long their necks are, they might be able to actually vibrate their vocal cords at such a low frequency that only they can hum to each other at.
Are giraffes just living didgeridoos?
Now, the alternative issue, however, is the fact that they have very small ears. So they can't hear each other, but they can hum to each other.
Maybe they can feel the vibrations. They talk that way in the dark.
Guys, we've got to get through this intro.
I'm sorry. I got deeply fascinated by this fun fact.
We could talk about it later, everybody.
I'm glad you liked it.
Content warning. This is an adult stream. We may have adult concepts, mature concepts that need to be watched out for. If you are not mature enough for mature concepts, probably shouldn't be around.
There's the door.
Yes.
Get out.
There it is. I don't know. I'm pointing. The door. It's somewhere. Thanks, Gracie. I'm glad that you're here to be much more aggressive than I'm willing to be.
Happy to do it.
Skedaddle, punks.
Yeah. Loser.
Content warning. Quick.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I love the duality of the content between Gracie's channel and the TPD channel, and like the two different versions of Gracie you get on them.
Yeah.
This is where she can let her
more hardcore
her emotions that she's been suppressing out. Like this is how this is stress reliever for her.
This is the rage room.
They do say Dungeons and Dragons is very therapeutic.
And they're right. Speaking of therapeutic, I don't know what transfer this is. Quick thank you to our Kickstarters. We could not be here without you. Man, what a segue. You guys did a great job. We're happy to have you. Thank you so much for your efforts. Make sure you're looking at your emails, filling out any surveys that we sent you. I believe that there are still several that we have not gotten, and we would really like to send out everything all at the same time if we are available. I will be contacting the Mythic tier within the next several weeks. I have a couple of things actually for the Kickstarter and they need to get done first, but keep an eye on that. Send us your things. That is all that I have for this intro. So, Drew, it is time to roll a clip that you have obtained for us to be rolled. Last time on the Paper Dungeon, our group of ne'er-do-wells attended a wedding. It was a wedding, a reception. They danced, they laughed. Things got a little awkward. They drank a lot. A lot of drinking occurred. A couple people almost got stabbed a little bit, and a ceremony was performed. It was a great time. Everyone just had a blast. Some flirting occurred. Some obvious, some not so obvious. But eventually, everyone got on board their ship that they have acquired, the Skirmisher, Captain Leslie's old kind of clipper ship that he fought with in the rebellion. and got re-outfitted by the Hadazee that they so gracefully recently attended that said wedding, and traveled through the stars, through empty void space, empty wild space, to a small moon. Okay, it's more like an asteroid orbiting a moon, really. The moon of Toru, which is just a few moons away from the core planet in this sector. This sector, of course, being Ouroboros. Ouroboros, excuse me. There's no S. As they approach, they were very aware of the fact that this a moon is guarded, kind of barriered away, locked behind a barrier that is being generated by these several guard outposts that orbit it. Now, they're trying to get to the moon in order to find a doctor to cure kind of a child that they kidnapped, but in a good way. From
learned the name yet?
Yeah, from being like a living weapon, who is still currently conscious aboard their ship. The doctor in question is Dr. Anna Rose, a previous crewmate of Captain Leslie, who is a little strange, a very questionable tabaxi. But they heard rumors that she had been locked away and imprisoned on this moon of Toru. As they got closer to the guard post, they noticed that the barrier was flickering, like it wasn't running on full capacity. Deciding to investigate, they head towards the guard tower itself. And as they begin to enter kind of the docking field of the guard tower, they noticed debris from ships. And more shockingly, the bodies and corpses of guards in uniform floating outside of the station. That is where we are currently. You guys are on your ship, on the skirmisher, heading into kind of dock at the port. What are you guys kind of doing? Is there anything that you would like to do before you dock?
How many bodies are there floating in space?
You could count probably between 20 and 40.
Oh my.
That's hard to do.
A lot of bodies.
We're gonna do mass burials. Gotcha. Digging a pit.
Before those, is there any where we are currently? I don't think we've. Wait, have we breaking through yet? Are we like kind of?
You have not entered the guard post yet. You will need to move through the guard post in order to enter into the orbit of Toru.
Yeah,
just from like a glance, is there any like? Has there been any bodies that have kind of flown outside of the barrier, like kind of where we are?
Yeah. So imagine my hand is, and this is your ship. Your ship is flying towards the docking station, which is my fist.
Yeah.
Currently, the bodies are kind of interspersed randomly throughout this kind of area.
Yeah.
So
and
you
the
guys
barrier
are literally
is
like
behind the guard post.
Yeah, and the barrier is it's connected out this way towards. Yeah, kind of encompassing. Thank you. They're very good physical diagrams.
I had to orient myself. If possible, I guess it's technically lingering spirits, but I'd be casting the spell Speak with Dead. If there's any bodies close enough.
Would you like to take one of the bodies on board?
If I can reach it.
Yeah, it's doable. No need for a check. You can kind of just pull. You have complete. Unlike a regular ship, you have complete 360-degree kind of movement. So how spelljammers work is you have kind of a gravity field that bisects the middle of your ship and surrounds it in kind of a globe. So anything that is below that level, gravity points up. And then anything that is above that level, gravity goes down. So you can fully maneuver in a 360-degree space this ship to get right on alongside and kind of catch them in your gravity field, so they just kind of stay floating at mid-level. You pull alongside, pull one of the bodies on board, and cast Speak with Dead, right? I believe.
And if I remember correctly, it's up to 5 questions.
That's what I'm searching right now. That sounds right.
I think that's what the movie told us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's very accurate. It's a very accurate movie.
It is. They did the research.
Surprisingly accurate, and which made it so much better.
I've seen this in the movie.
No.
Okay.
In the theater production.
Yes.
Oh yes, in the traveling
stage play. So this corpse, which appears to be a GIF soldier, so it's kind of some work to get it on board. GIFs
or GIF or GIF soldier.
It is pronounced GIF. It is not a 6-second moving picture. That would also be pronounced a GIF.
So this is one of the hippo people.
Yes, they are like bipedal hippos with a fascination with guns.
Right.
I always mishear GIF and GIF.
That's why I was clarifying.
Like, massive GIF are easy.
Thanks.
And then I was like,
So confused.
GIF.
Yeah, thanks, Wizard of the Coast, for choosing two words that sound almost identical. And I have a slight speech impediment, and it does not help.
Quick question.
Yes.
I don't want to be that guy, but
is this one of your 5?
Dead is a 3rd level spell.
I'm very aware.
Cool. Perfect.
This is
Gotcha.
One of her specific abilities that she has.
Yeah,
that's what I was curious about. That's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, could you
Medora,
describe to us how casting this spell looks?
Right, so it's probably going to be different than how most people will imagine Speak with Dead, especially from Baldur's Gate 3, where it's like, ooh, sparkles. What Medora does is, like, the body's laying on the ship. She'll take her, well, it's funny enough, I kind of got claws right now.
Oh,
she will kind of put her hands on, like, wherever's like a piece of flesh that's like visible, and her claws will sink in, and it's just as they sink, black ooze starts to kind of flow from her fingers and like kind of in and out of like the point of contact. And
she's stealing my shtick.
Once it, I know, look, hey, look. But instead of like glowing eyes, instead like black ooze and comes out of the eyes instead.
Yes, the body kind of like jerks around as you almost necromantic puppeteering.
I will say though, as like everyone is around watching this happen, Talus does for just a brief moment be like, "Is this what it looks like when I do magic?"
But okay. My first question will be, what is your name and rank?
Sergeant Felwitz, 3rd Corps.
Okay, that's my first question. Second question. How did you die?
Loss of air. Fleeing.
Ooh.
Oda is taking notes in a little notebook he's pulled out.
Ugh. My other question has left my brain.
What happened? What attacked you?
Good idea. What exactly attacked you?
A sword.
Don't be like a genie. Details.
Something unkillable.
That's just like a genie. What did I just say?
To quote the spell, answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. The corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy.
Something.
Try to make it think we're friends. Try to be really nice.
That's not gonna.
Cozy up to the dead body, you know.
Mind you, while they're trying to tell me this, also for context, ooze is also coming out of my eyes, but not as graphic as the dead body. So I just turn around and I'm like, I'm trying. It just looks like I'm trying.
Yeah. So sorry. You do whatever you gotta do. He takes a step behind Addie.
Okay, my 1, 2, 3, 4th question. Oh, I'm trying to word it correctly. Because I want to say if this enemy was known to you, but not in the way that I'm trying to word it. I'll just say it like that. Like, was this enemy known to you prior to attack?
No.
Can we ask? Because he said it was air. Was that what
Yes,
it was?
he died from suffocation, fleeing.
Oh,
So they were
okay.
running away and got caught in space and suffocated.
Gotcha.
All right, guys.
Well-
What's the final question? What y'all got any questions for this one? You got one question left.
I guess if it's possible to
Is
get through the
creature
guard center
still
alive,
here?
that's a good question.
Good job. And I'll say my final question. I'll say, is the creature still here?
Last seen, yes.
Okay, lovely.
Cool.
All right, and then
And
once
Well,
I
that's not instilling
once
a
I
lot
say
of
that final
confidence.
question, my claws then come out, and then
Yeah, the
I gotta,
ooze re-seeps into your hands, approaching your wrist once more.
Well, that's a neat trick.
thanks.
Oda's, you're raising your hand.
I'm gonna just kind of pull. I'm guessing the body's on the deck now. It's not floating in
Yeah.
space. Yeah. Okay. I'll pull it off to the side so we can bury it later, and then I'm gonna do like just the briefest of autopsy to see if there's anything else that might have happened outside of the asphyxiation. Like, are there lacerations? Is it psychic damage? Like, what type of
Roll a
attachment
medicine check.
is this creature doing? Medicine check.
To determine some kind of cause of death questions.
Medicine.
You should be good at that.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
good at that.
You're a
Mr.
cleric.
Doctor Man.
23.
23.
Is the dungeon daddy, dungeon father figure.
There are multiple things that you notice. One, you do think that he died from suffocation. There are clear marks of him being kind of like, I mean, the signs of death that are floating in space.
Yeah, totally.
But prior to his death, you do see that there was multiple instances of blunt force trauma. And there are also what appear to be like splinters trapped in a skin that you would think multiply, what did I just say? Most likely come from the wreckage that surrounds you.
Gotcha.
So what you could imply that he was part of the reasons why these wreckages are here, like why there is wreckage.
Mm-hmm. Well, before he suffocated in space, whatever was attacking him caused a lot of trauma. Definitely hits hard.
So we just hit harder. Let's go.
Man, what a line.
If
as we're approaching, Oda will start like reaching and like grabbing as many of the bodies as he can and kind of like organizing them on the side of the ship.
You saint, sort of literally.
As Oda's doing that, Melody will actually see that and begin to fly out to some of the further bodies out and like grab on and like.
It's convenient because in space you don't need a whole lot of effort to push something. You do have to stay kind of within your gravity sphere, so anything outside of that is no longer within your bubble of air. But you are able to do that.
If she is doing that, when she brings one of the bodies in, I'll pull out a little bit of rope that I have and give it to her, so she can just kind of like wrap it around them, and then I can pull them in instead of her having to like drag them in.
Fantastic. You are able to kind of pull from the wreckage about 15 of the bodies. Like the other ones are pretty out of your way, floating a little too close to the barrier.
In medical emergency, you gotta take care of who you can reach. Can't worry about those guys.
I'll also carry over kind of your medicine check for all of these. They all seem to have, in general, the same kind of causes of death. There are a couple that died before, but like before the suffocation, or at least were like mortally wounded before they suffocated.
Totally. Would I also be able to determine either from that medicine check or another one how long ago they died?
Yes, absolutely. You think that this probably happened The bodies are remarkably preserved thanks to space.
Space, you know?
Yeah, space is pretty good. You think that it's probably been 3 to 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Oh, good. Long enough for the Spider Queen to make a den. Not Spider Queen. We don't do spiders. For the Centipede Queen to make a den.
Whoa.
Centipedes are worse than spiders.
I'm gonna stab you.
Oda, I'm gonna need you to...
let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not a big fan of arachnids.
Besides, bugs would have more like piercing and poison. They don't really do that much bludgeoning.
Well, if it's like a giant one that's like knocking you into walls, you know, that's my... Anyway, nonetheless.
Yes, Medora.
Can I do an investigation check on... I'm assuming we now have bodies on the ship that might be higher rank. I want to do an investigation check on a higher ranking dead body, or it might lean more sleight of hand, just to see if I can find anything on their body that might help us with further information on how to go about being in this guard tower.
Yeah,
roll an investigation check for me.
Okay. 18.
Nice.
An 18. You are able to find a lieutenant commander, which is pretty high up the ranks.
Does he have a key card on him?
No.
Oh, that was a good idea.
We could have gotten into like
It's worth
tier
a shot.
lieutenant commander doors. Could have got secret goodies. All right.
Was there
now.
anything? I didn't find anything on him. Did I or no?
If you're looking for any, not really. I mean, there's like a kind of a cutlass type of thing. He has weapons, some armor, none of which would really be of use to. No notes or anything, nothing like that. Yes, DJ.
How close to the border are we?
You are easily within 30 feet of the dock.
They're like of the dock or of the border?
Oh, I mean, the border would be probably, let's see, if you're 30 feet away from the dock, let's do some quick math. And this base is around this wide. Probably within like 200 feet.
Is there like a piece of wreckage floating in space nearby that I can grab?
Oh, loads of it.
I would love to like...
You can have as much wreckage as you want.
I would love to like shove it towards the border. I want to see what happens if something tries to go through it.
It takes a little bit. Eventually it hits the border. It just turns into ash.
I don't know if anybody else saw that, but nobody touches the border. Okay.
Yep.
Ground rules. Nobody touches the border.
You made a check in the previous episode that, I mean, your ship is protected by some means, more than just a random piece of driftwood. So you do think that it's a low enough power that you could ram through it.
Now hear me out, Oda. If we go fast enough.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Just get your ship back, and I know I'm new, but I don't really want any of you to die.
Yeah, we're not risking this thing. But I will admit.
Do you think he would make it?
Now we're
These guys own
talking.
like aura around him, you know.
I'll be honest. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Clearly, whatever happened here wasn't enjoyable for these fellas. And if it's something on the inside that caused this, then we better keep it hush-hush that we're here. Because we don't want whatever did this to know that we are a potential target. Another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure hoping that this is outside of the prison problem, because if those poor prisoners were left unattended since this happened, well then, we might need to come up with other plans. Fingers crossed. And let's sneak through this thing.
Vessel?
A landing vessel.
We can go pull it to the thing with.
skipper.
Oh, you're
the skipper, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can either fully dock the boat. In order to get your full ship through into the atmosphere, you'll need to pull up the entire skirmisher. You could take like a small vessel to it, if you want.
Can all of us fit on a small vessel?
Yeah, you probably could.
Might as well. It's probably sneakier.
I would imagine it'd be a little less auspicious, and then it keeps our main source of retreat away and safe. And then I'm assuming that the Silvers will keep the ship in condition, and then we'll grab the girl. Is that the plan?
Sounds like a good one to me.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Talith,
It's time for the suiting up montage.
based on your analysis, Talith, can you see any ideal point of entry for sneaking? And I nudged Talith.
He's thinking.
Just to clarify, it's like there's the planet, and then there's like the guard station that's orbiting the moon. Yeah. Okay. And so even once we get through the guard station, through the barrier, we still have to get to the
Star Wars prequel movies. Like a blockade has been set up around the planet, and then everyone fell asleep for like an hour.
So we still have to get to the planet even once we get through the blockade.
Talith has been thinking. Talith has a plan.
Talith has been in the tank.
If Silvers were to stay on the ship, and the ship were, and we were to take the dinghy to actually like investigate the outpost, would it theoretically be possible for me to now, technically speaking, I can't do this normally, but would it in theory be possible? Would it in theory be possible for me to cast the message cantrip through one of my familiars when they're not directly next to me?
I mean, yeah, I think. Let me just look at the rules.
the part of the paper dungeon where Aaron looks at all the books that he owns.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Find. Yes.
Back.
That's the one. Don't worry, guys. I'm a professional.
I do like the idea of like a tiny bird just like looking over at Captain Silvers, and all of a sudden Captain Silvers can hear Talith's voice in his head. I do like that idea.
That is a great idea. That's a great visual. And you know Silvers would freak out.
Oh no, he just assumed that it's another voice in his head.
Like Melody lands on Captain Silver's shoulder and looks at him.
This is exactly the situation that I assumed that it was. Which is, you are, of course, able to cast spells through your familiar, but most of the time, it would only be through touch. Mm-hmm. I will say that as long as your familiar is touching Captain Silvers, it will work.
That's how I've always interpreted that. Yeah, I think that's
okay.
Not that it matters what I think.
Now, because normally, message has a range of 120 feet, so it is not a touch spell.
Correct.
I don't care.
But I could basically message Silvers using a satellite beacon that is my familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you're casting the spell from a different point. As long as your familiar is actively touching Silvers, I'm fine with it. I don't care.
Now, what is the range that you stay connected to Melody as a familiar?
Within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Goody. So not anywhere near on the moon.
I can't believe that I knew that quickly.
Yeah. You've had to answer this question quite a lot.
Now hear me out.
Campaign.
Hear me out. I have an idea.
Quite a lot.
We put a space suit on Sirius. We have Sirius hover 100 feet above the surface.
You start looping your familiars.
We just create a line of familiars I can send the message
in the next campaign. I want an ant colony as my familiar.
Yeah, you just form a chain. You plug in the Wi-Fi extender.
Exactly.
I can't wait.
I say we get on the dinghy, we go to the outpost, and we see what happens.
I love that idea.
Okay, so DM
get on the dinghy.
So DM, since message has 120 feet range anyway, I'm just gonna keep both my familiars on me because I might as well.
I didn't. It seemed like such a fun idea, though.
From looking at this place as we're getting closer, is there an obvious, like, not after we dock, is there a somewhat more obvious point of entry that still seems, a little out of the most obvious view?
There's a front door.
That's all we see. Okay, great.
There a window towards the top of the tower?
So this is a pretty flat level. You think that the majority of the space is probably below ground. This is also like the guard post to a high security prison. So they don't really do like windows or breachable walls.
They're like, yo, your floating ship can't come up.
Yeah, like this is specifically a prison. Like it isn't meant to be super fun to go to. Yes, Medora.
Could possibly, with me being at a diner, both good people and possibly bad people come through. Could I possibly do a history check if I maybe had some stories with some prisoners that might have died, or had some experience at the prison? Or would it be wisdom?
Roll a history check for me.
Okay. I have to think about that one.
Are you proficient in history? Let me ask this first.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Just roll a history check for me.
Aaron's like, wait. Are you good at this? No.
Well, if she was proficient in history, I might have asked for a charisma history check.
Oh, gosh. I'm not that charismatic.
To see if this is ever a conversation that you've had.
Nat 20.
Whoa. You've discovered a secret passageway in the story.
Me and my talking. Me and my yaps.
Well, you growing up, obviously, working in Mama's Diner, it's filled with a lot of, kind of salty spirits. And a lot of those are not very great people a lot of the time. So you've talked with a lot of prisoners, a lot of corrupt wardens, people who ran prisons, people who've been in prisons, people who've died in prisons, people who've killed in prisons, all sorts of people. This specific facility, you don't really know a lot. There's so many prisons throughout existence, you would know that this type of guard post is pretty common, like shielding a world that is meant for like being a prison. You would know that it has a kind of the general layout of this facility. There is like a visitor's entrance, which is what you're looking at. That is that main access. And somewhere just within there will be the option to like basically allow a ship through to the core planet. You also know that it is most likely a 3-layered facility. There's the above ground version kind of layer, the layer right below that. That often has a lot of like meeting rooms and like corporate facilities. And then below that is kind of the like generator room. That is where you would, all of the power is being supplied to this barrier.
So we blow up the generator, the whole barrier goes down.
That's an option.
It certainly might potentially happen. Just shut it down manually.
Yeah, but given the fact that, granted, as I reinstate like all the stuff that was said, with the 3 layers, that's at the bottom. If there's no other exits at the bottom, we have to go back up the way that we went if we shut it down.
Star Wars taught me anything, it means that there's going to be a little air vent that I can shoot a missile through, and it'll blow up the whole thing. So I say we go for it.
Keep your eye open.
Leslie fought in an actual war in the stars, and it was not that good.
That's true.
It was not that convenient.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So you guys are pulling up to the facility. You're kind of looking at the entrance.
Yeah, I kind of assume I'm the one manning this tiny little dinghy thing. I'll definitely pull it up in the least conspicuous way possible, even though it is a door. And I will attempt to open the door unless it is already open.
Oda, I see that you have a hand raised. What do you want?
I just wanted to really quick say we brief Silvers to be ready for us to come booking back Silvers and boogie on out of here.
I should ask real quick before we enter into here. Are there any preparatory spells or anything that you guys want to cast? Any prep stuff? That would be. Look, Addie. I know.
I'm ready to charge in.
Okay.
Addie cleans her daggers with her saliva.
I know that Medora has one. What you got?
But I say not yet, Eddie. All right. What did I say, Eddie? Wow, Addie. Sorry, my bad. My bad. The reception stuff is still wearing off. Everybody, just get close. because we're gonna have to stay close for this one. And
All right.
I will. I think technically I can be on myself. Okay, then I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Absolutely.
Let's go right now.
You and the people with you get a +10 to stealth checks, if I remember correctly.
Plus 10 to stealth checks and leave no track.
Yes.
But they have to be in my
That's so
30 feet
huge.
radius. And I restate this to them. It's like, you got to be at least within 30 feet.
All right.
Talith, don't run off. I know
I
there's
was
probably going to be a
thinking
lot of
the same
books.
You know for a fafact that Talith is just aching to split the party.
We look in Talith's direction, and Talith is gone.
+10, baby.
Yeah.
Plus 10.
Is that everything for prep stuff?
Just as
Load my
as a
raffle.
heads up.
Oh, Gracie's like, just go to the prison.
Let me in the building.
All you nerds doing all your prep stuff, just go to the prison.
Let me in.
And DJ is,
tried to open the
stalling
door.
to make it last even longer.
You're making it worse. Let him talk.
I am going to have Sirius be out about 60 feet ahead of us at all times.
Fantastic.
And then Melody is going to be perched with Oda.
Cool.
Yo, sup, girl?
Lucky.
So the doors open with a little bit of give. These are supposed to be like automated doors.
Yeah.
But they, for fire safety, when the power is not supplied, you are able to like just shove the doors to the side with some relative ease. When you enter the building, the base is, for the most part, empty. You don't see any signs of life. There are not bodies that you see either.
That's good.
For the most part, this kind of central area is empty, besides flickering lights along the floor and the ceiling that show that whatever is supplying this base with power, with energy, is still running, albeit barely. The central hall has 6 pillars in front of you holding up the ceiling. There are 3 doorways to your right. At the far end of this kind of central hall, you see a like set of stairs that leads down to the next level. To your left, there is kind of a like the visitation room that like has the, like, you know, when you go into school and the secretary sits behind that little glass. Yeah, there's that room, and then another room to the side of it that you would presume is for like confiscated items. If someone came in here with a weapon or just like a coat or something that they want to keep away from, like keep safe or something like that, it would be in that room. And then farther down to the left, is a staircase that leads up to a set of closed doors. And then there's another stairway to your right that leads up, and there is a little plaque on the wall that says cafeteria.
So is this the prison, or is the prison on the main?
This is not the prison. This is the guard post facility.
Yeah.
You think that they do have the capability of storing prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
If like new people, like new prisoners are brought in, they may be kept here for a period of time before they are eventually sent to the base world, something like that.
DM.
How do they get from the guard post to the prison? That's what Oda's trying to figure out.
Specifically by ship.
And is there any ships docked? Is it on the backside?
You could take a guess that all of the debris that you saw outside was all of the ships for transport to the moon.
Gotcha. Cool. Good.
First question, DM.
Yes.
Does Talith know of any magical security cameras that exist in the sectors?
Do
they exist?
I mean, yeah, there's spells that operate as like consistent scry orbs. Clairvoyance would function in that way.
Do I, as we enter this first room, notice anything like that?
Make a perception check or investigation, one of the two.
While he's doing that, can I look through the contraband bucket and
I
see if
knew
there
you
are
were
any
gonna do
funny new
that.
toys?
Can you please roll a D100 for me?
I would love to.
Lovely.
And I would like to see if I can see any maps to the prison in this area.
There are no maps to the prison.
73.
Darn.
73. Let me search a thing.
Do we think that we were wanting to turn off the shields, or do we think that that's a bad idea in case whatever is down at the prison is trying to get out?
Personally, I've seen a lot of scary things. I've heard a lot of stories from people coming in and out of a place I used to work at. Probably might be safer to keep it on, but I don't know. It's the rest of the team's choice as well. As long as we're strong enough to possibly protect ourselves, it's just...
I think we move forward, keep our eyes out, and do whatever's best.
Yeah, but we can't move forward with the barrier.
Theoretically, you could, like within that kind of glassed off area, there would be a button that would allow your ship to pass.
Boom. Easy. Problem solved. Thank you very much, DM.
So question, is there like with the like little reception area, because you said it's like a little box, where like I'm assuming like the spot where like the receptionist talks to whoever's on the other side, is it like how does that look? Is it more like a box shape, or is it like an opening, or is it kind of like just a
like, are you asking for the like the shape of the room?
No. Like the actual glass part, is it like where there's like an opening to like slip in documents?
Oh yeah, there's a small like absolutely. That thing that you're thinking of is absolutely.
So I'm going to kind of like sit on the floor for a second, and of course take out like a small straw doll. And I place it on the ground, and I want to... I
should also say, before you do anything crazy, Gracie, you see a door. You could just walk into that room if you wanted.
Is that for the contraband?
The contraband room is directly connected to
Directly connected?
Yeah, there's just a door.
Do you want me to go in here?
Check if it's locked first.
If
the door is
locked,
open.
I'm gonna kick it down. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want you to waste any resources here. You guys just walk in.
That's actually kind of scary.
I was gonna ask about that.
I should also say, before you do that, oh my goodness, Addie, I'm like Gracie, and then I'm like, no, that's not her character name, Gracie. Nope, that's still not it. You do find, I mean, there's a bunch of random stuff in here. There's some clothes, some like heavy jackets that could conceal weapons and stuff. You do find what looks like kind of a weird looking bracelet that looks like it slides in close underneath your arm, kind of like a Spider-Man web blaster.
Nice.
But real thin, real close, real hidden.
Does Addie wear jewelry? That's the question.
Let me look at my character art just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nothing too flashy.
You have like the necklaces, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real discreet. That's the word I was looking for. Man, we are struggling tonight.
I hope this is an Assassin's Creed dagger for Addie. Just
gotta love it.
That would be so sick.
A wrist dagger.
Yeah, that'd also be terrifying because then you just walk up behind people and just go, hey!
Nobody is ever safe.
Exactly.
You're like dapping up Addie, and all of a sudden your hand is gone.
Do you head into the visitation check room, whatever that's called?
The office?
Yeah.
Yes. You do see what appears to be like the access panel that would allow people through. The lights on it are currently off.
Talith.
We have to find the fuse. It's a horror game.
There's something here. I don't want to deal with it. You can deal with it.
What was Talith? What was Talith doing again? I forgot.
Basically nothing because he rolled a 5. He'll join in the office. Well, he rolled technically more than a 5, but a 5 brings it up to a 12, which isn't enough to do anything. So checking out the office, do I see DM? Does this thing seem to be more power run like the computer I encountered with the crazy people, or is this Arcana run?
Make an intelligence check or investigation if you have it.
Okay.
If only it was
this one.
Nice.
You're
love
not.
that. I love rolling
the rules that he knows.
I love rolling bad.
Strong.
You have You have a reputation to maintain. There's some McKelp's blood. What's going on here?
Hey, you're the
like,
McKelps who rolls always
staring over
good.
his shoulder,
I'm the one who
can he
gives
have
it to other
advantage?
people.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you
Roll again.
advantage, Drew.
I can
Okay,
like, that
that's
thing
a
that
little
he
bit
said,
better.
Roll it again.
That
18.
probably does something.
Run it back.
18. You think that it is probably a mix. Most things are. There are not a lot of things that are purely electrical or purely magical. A lot of them are using like magical means to create electricity or some form of energy source. You think that the core within this that is both powering the shield and this console kind of deal is most likely a generator specifically for that purpose. So people supply it with magic and then it creates energy. Flashing on the screen, you are able to parse out that the facility is in low power mode. So like most functions are shut down other than like the bare bones ones of like life support and like keeping the barrier running on its minimum.
Are there any large hamster wheels that we can maybe run on?
If there were, they would be in the basement.
They can
DM.
lever, flip it
DM.
on.
As soon as like Talith is looking at this and something else completely clicks in his brain, he immediately starts looking around for signs of battle within the facility. How many creatures are there? Like,
you do not.
Are there
see
obvious
any...
signs that there's more than one creature that attacked this facility?
Are you going to look throughout the entire?
Like literally, like Talith, like literally, like freezes, stands up, immediately starts looking around, and like will immediately start like going back and like looking at all the spaces that they've already walked through, and even some of the other rooms if he has to, as he begins to walk through.
You've currently out of the 8 marked locations that I have, you have investigated 3 of them. Out of the remaining 5, that's some quick addition subtraction there for you, everybody.
Good job.
You kind of go one by one. Most of them are unlocked. You are in the central hall. You've already looked at visitor screening, item detainment. You find a storage room and kind of a pantry next to the cafeteria. None of those have anything in it. There is no real signs of life, except for the cafeteria. You can smell and see like the rotting food. Clearly, whoever was eating here was interrupted, and they left in a hurry. Gosh dang! Oh my goodness! Math out where we are. There is also a communications room. That is that first room on your right when you enter into the building. There is a kind of typed out message that was sent to, there was like a transpondence between guardhouses that just an easy thing that you're able to read from that is that simultaneously something happened on all of the guardhouses.
Okay.
So it is not just this one, but the other 3 that were also kind of affected all at the same time. There's also a correspondence with the moon itself. That something was happening on the moon as well.
I don't actually do all that well with space horror. It actually freaks me out. This is not good.
This is very good.
You know, crazy enough that I did not have that in the, you did not write that down in the safety and consent checklist.
He's just discovering it now. This is a new fear.
Okay.
I'm discovering
realizing it alongside everyone else.
Patreon,
Protect you.
Patreon goal, DJ plays Dead Space.
I gotta put on my fedora. Who protect you?
That's really good.
And DM, as we're looking through all these spaces, like, is there like obvious scarring, like on the walls, on the floor, like bodies strewn about like everywhere? Like,
there is no bodies.
Like,
there's no bodies on the first floor.
Okay.
They're all in space.
On
the only thing that you do find, the one remaining room that you have not checked, the doors seem like barricaded shut. There are some scratch marks on the door, but just by pushing and pulling, you are not able to open them.
Okay.
Can I try?
Yeah, you want to make an athletics check to bust down the door?
Do you want to make an athletics check?
Please,
Yes.
bust down the door.
Can I?
It's not
give
too loud.
Addie guidance.
Whoa. I see, like, I'm up by the door. I see Addie coming over. I hold up a hand first. I walk over. I grab Medora, somewhat purposely, but not like too much, and make sure she's right next to her with Pass Without a Trace as she does this.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, so you can stealthily break down the door.
I give that a guy.
Not gonna lie, I feel that whenever Talus does this, she's shocked and she can't tell if it was like she can mostly tell that it was for the spell that she placed, but she also kind of like, you could have just asked me to like in my mind. I'm like, you could just ask me to walk over here.
Should I be offended or is this flirting? What's happening? Yeah, please roll an athletics check for me to bust down that door.
With guidance?
Yeah.
Busted down. We're all whispering like, yeah, go at it. Let's go. Let's get it.
Bust it down, but with stealth.
15.
15. That is the DC for this.
You're able. Take that.
You kind of like. Yeah. It's so funny because from an outside perspective, you see Addie like shoulder sprint at the door.
I was gonna say,
and she like. Kind of hits it and it like doesn't make a noise, but it leaves enough of a dent they're able to kind of like barely pry your fingers in and then pull from like the inside and just kind of bend it enough that you're able to slip through. Immediately as the door is cracked, you get the stench of death. Like
Guys.
of like rot and decay.
Ugh.
As you enter inside, there is, I mean, it's not great. You see one body on the ground that is 3 months decayed, give or take. Actually, it's probably closer to 2. But there are scratches on the walls. You can see that it has been barricaded from the inside to prevent people from entering. But they like kept track of the days to show that it was roughly a month before they ran out of food and water and succumbed to that.
Is that what you meant by scratches on the walls? Was the keeping track of the day, or are there different kinds of scratches on the walls?
A little bit of both. Some of them seem kind of a little demented scratching. Some of them seem like purposeful keeping track of the days. Would you like to make an insight check to kind of determine the purpose of these things, or an investigation check to look at the room more?
I'll do an investigation check.
There's just one body in here?
Just one.
It barricaded one person in. Hey, Medora, can you do the like question thing again? Do we want to do that?
Here's the thing. I'm only able to do it one other time. So it just depends on if you all want me to save it, or if this one thing, would it still be here? It's like, I kind of poke at it because, mind you, the stench doesn't get to me somehow. It's just kind of used
it doesn't
to it,
seem to bother me
Ronnie,
either.
Well, it's like with Ronnie, he's still not, fully, intact. I'm used to rotting flesh. So I just kind of like poke at it to see if it's like still viable. I guess it is technically a check. It's technically a check as I'm poking to see if it's like together enough, or it's like past decay and soul.
You don't need to make a check. So this does not return a soul to a body. It just animates a spirit. So it's basically like you re-synapse their brain function. But it does. It is required to have a mouth, and this corpse is too rotted to still have like enough function in their mouth to speak with dead.
All I'm saying is,
turn around, I'm like, them lips ain't
a little mending right there on the cheekbones.
I don't think I can mend flesh. I don't think I can mend flesh, and them lips ain't moving. Them lips are not moving. Not today.
Okay. What was the investigation check? I need to know.
Yes, very interesting. He says as he covers his nose, he got a 10.
A 10.
So I'm not sure he's getting much in here.
Other than the scratches on the wall that you can already see, you don't find anything new.
There seems to be scratches on the wall. Go ahead.
Do.
Okay. So after we're like in this room and just kind of process what the heck is going on in here. So bad news. That just got worse, right? If we want to go through the gates, we have to still get to the generator because everything is in low power mode and is only powered by the generator. which is on the bottom floor.
And there's not, just to clarify, there's not a
news.
button to switch it into like high power mode that we missed.
We have to go down there and turn it back on.
No hamster wheels either.
Which means we either have to go down there, turn it back on, light this place up like a Christmas tree, and draw a whole lot of attention to ourselves.
Here's why I think that's a good idea for 2.
We blow the place up.
Oh.
Also draw a whole lot of attention to ourselves. Or third, we try and force our way through the barrier, risk damaging the ship severely on a hostile planet, and maybe try and find a new way out.
To ourselves.
I'm concerned because this entire facility is dead. And there's only 2 things that can do that. A very, very powerful creature that we cannot handle, or a swarm of them, which we cannot handle.
I don't know.
This was a coordinated effort. All of the other bases are also down. The moon itself also got attacked. Something big is at play here, and this is either our chance to dig in and really accept the fact that we're all in imminent danger, or we leave now.
No, I also don't want to be pessimistic. Excuse me.
A little bit of both.
But if we aren't sure that the doctor is alive to help, would it be a better use of time to find someone else who could?
I don't know if there is another.
You have any leads? Do you know?
Well, I was just putting the option out there. If anybody else had a lead, I unfortunately do not.
I mean, I think that was kind of narcissistic of you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I agree. You should call it like it is.
Now, I hear you, Talith. And to Oda's point, I don't know if there is another. Let's remember that we're dealing with a growing evil. And if this Quicksilver stuff has the ability to turn even pruners, well then that means that other systems are in danger. Here's what I think. I think it's worth looking and doing our best to stay alive, just in case the answer lies here. But we stay smart, we move quickly. For all we know, the threat could be gone. So I vote that we go down, power this place up, and try to be as quick as possible. Oda, you have your hand up. Also narcissistic a little bit, but I'll let it pass this time. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just messing. I
was just gonna ask. The barrier is 2 ways, right? It keeps things from leaving as well as keeping things from entering.
Correct. Yes.
So we probably, I agree with. I'm sorry, in character. I would agree with you, Captain. We probably want to make sure that we maintain the barrier in case we need to quickly leave and make sure that whatever this is can't follow us. We don't want a Sector 10 situation.
Ooh, good. That was a great callback, guys. That was a really good reference.
I will say that yes, that is what's been running through Tal's head this entire time.
For those of you who don't know,
I haven't heard much about.
You know what Sector 10 is, Grant. Leslie does. Grant doesn't.
Leslie does.
Sector 10 is the null sector. It has been quote unquote borged. This was an event that was seen in a one-shot that we had several years ago, where basically a virus that turns people into goblins overtook the sector in an unstoppable wave, and it had to be completely quarantined and it is no longer accessible because of how viral the disease is. It spreads through any form of threat or contact. It is incredibly fast acting, and the only way to prevent yourself from turning into a Borg, so to speak, is by killing the one that infected you, which when you're attacked by like 100 of them is really hard to know. So that is the Sector 10 situation. Also, it's a reference to Morkborg. If anyone hasn't played that, you should definitely check it out. It's a really good RPG. It's really
or
really good.
Smorgasborg.
Okay, no, that's like Swedish. I don't know what that just was.
I say we keep moving forward and going down and keeping our wits about us. Who's in? Leslie puts his hand in the middle. Oda raises his hand.
Oda puts his hand in the middle.
God.
You know, this feels like too much team bonding. Like I'll help. I'm not putting my hand in the center of a circle.
I put a finger in because I'm just like too afraid to touch them. I'm just.
Melody hops down to the hands.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that counts. We all look at Addie.
Addie, what about you?
expectantly.
Addie walks over to the wall, and I'm actually curious if there's any way to tell whether the scratch marks are made by the same, perhaps the person that quarantined himself in here. Like the manic scratch marks are the same as the time tracking scratch marks made by the same.
Roll investigation check.
I
know you're
negative modifier to this one.
Just give her some
Can
time.
I?
She's thinking it over.
Or move my finger. This is being too long.
What do I have?
Oh, guys.
A
I've already touched your hand long
16
enough.
is good enough. Specifically, you are tracking the scratch marks around as everyone kind of looks at you as they have their hands in the circle. Eventually, you get to where the scratch marks are the deepest, which is right around the body. You notice two things. First, you think that these scratch marks were made by hand, specifically because you can see that the flesh around his fingertips has been eroded down to the bone. Two, underneath the body, kind of like behind him, scratched into the wall, it just says, "The Steel Bloods won't die."
Oh, write that down.
Nice.
Is that steel like the metal or steel like the action?
STEEL, like
what
the
about
metal.
steel, like what's in the girl's eyes?
It is called quick steel. That is an important clarification.
Whoa!
Oh, I said Quicksilver
Nice
earlier. I think
You always
connection,
do, and
Gracie.
I just don't fix you up.
What you're looking at over there, Gracie?
Addie,
Our arms are getting
You guys
tired.
might
Addie,
wanna
and
come look
Talith
at
is also
this.
right there as she's doing this.
Talith has left the huddle.
Talith never entered the huddle.
Melody
He's in his
still on
cloud
my
of
head.
darkness, his tunnel column.
Yeah, well,
But
as they see that message, Talith just gives like a knowing glance to Addie.
Now, what could that mean?
boy.
The Steel Bloods won't
Hey,
die.
Leslie, they're already here. Your whole worry about the pruners stuff, they're already here. They're they're the things that did this.
What are the chances that that doctor is still alive in here? Follow-up question.
Nearing 0 by the minute.
I realize that. Now, there is a chance that the solution is here and they know it. And they're trying to defend it, which also isn't good for us, but it does mean that the solution might lie in this moon.
As much as I hate to admit it, Leslie, you are right. There is a reason that they did attack this facility and they did attack this moon, which means that as much as I don't want to go anywhere closer to this, the only place we're going to find real answers is here.
I agree.
Yep.
Now who's in? Leslie puts his hand in the middle.
I walk out.
Yeah, I'm following Addie. Actually, Talith does turn to follow Addie, but then he stops and actually goes over to Oda. And in his like just staring at him in his head, he hears, "Protect Melody with your life, or I will kill you." And then he turns and finds the stairs.
Fantastic. There are a easy flight of stairs at the opposite end of the hallway. You know that they lead downwards. Journeying down the stairs, you don't see anything. It's just regular kind of slate gray walls and steps. They open up, and you see something that kind of resembles an office space. There's a long, kind of sterile white linoleum floor ahead of you that reaches the opposite end of this facility. To your left, there are a series of thick glass windows that you can see into kind of an office / meeting area. There's a long table, chairs set up against it, a screen on the wall that can be used for like briefings and stuff like that, as well as what you could assume to be office spaces surrounding it. At the farthest end of this hallway, you see a door that leads into the restrooms, and then it curves off to the right, and you are unable to see what is past that right curve at this moment.
I'll send Sirius.
Sirius slithers down the hallway.
Bad gree to it. I don't like it.
You see a storage closet that is labeled. Hold on, gotta find it real quick here.
Storage.
Chemical storage specifically. Chemical storage. And then another, these are more of like sliding metal doors that read sterilization room.
Okay.
There are also a staircase to your right in this hallway.
Okay. So staircase, chemical storage, sterilization.
Does the staircase lead down, DM, once again?
Yes, the staircase would lead down.
Okay. Are the doors like propped open at all?
The doors to which room? The sterilization room, the staircase, or the
specifically like the chemical storage and the sterilization.
Yeah. Make an investigation check for me.
Maybe we should look around.
Are you going to head down the hallway with Sirius?
Oh.
Melody?
Oh, yeah.
True. You just perfect spiral the bird down the hallway.
Never mind. No. I'm sorry. I forgot that this is serious looking. I thought it was Talith. Never mind.
He's got snake eyes. How you doing there, Talith?
Well, Mr. Snake rolled a 2 on die.
That's not great. This is adding your investigation. So
total of 9.
Total of 9. You don't think that the door to the storage closet is locked.
Okay.
You do see that there is a gap in the sterilization room doors. Most likely, I mean, those are mechanical doors. So those were like automated. You would enter, scan a code, the doors would slide open. So they probably just didn't shut all the way when the facility went to low power.
Okay. Well, then, if that's the case, Sirius will kind of slither into that door just to take a quick look around.
Into the sterilization room?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is a long hallway. It is filled with, above are like basically sprinkler heads to like cleanse and sterilize and make sure that you are safe to enter. There's another door. Once again, this one is fully open, and it leads into what almost looks like a medical bay. There are multiple gurneys and tables set up. There are tanks on the wall that appear to be broken. Some of them are slid open. Some of them have just cracked. And then there is a pileup of rubble against one of the walls that you can see there are doors behind it.
Okay. Okay, so we have a few options here. We can either immediately keep going down, it seems, or there is a chemical storage room, or what looks like a medical room of some kind that has some more places to investigate.
I also have a
Yeah.
Can I ask your passive perception?
My passive perception?
Yes, because this would function through Sirius.
My passive perception is a 13.
You also hear from the storage, the chemical storage, you hear kind of like a muffled, raspy sobbing.
Okay. I do also, just as a note, Sirius also does have blind sight, just in case that ever it becomes relevant.
That is absolutely relevant because it would be through heat detection, because they like do the infrared stuff and can like smell with their tongue. You do not. Sirius does not detect anything that would be like heat signs, like heat life signs in the chemical storage room.
It's a crying zombie. Love that.
It would be able to detect zombies.
It's a crying something that isn't a zombie.
Okay. So if that's the case, then Sirius, adding on to what he just said, also within the chemical storage room, there does seem to be something sobbing, crying. However, there's no signs of life in the form of body heat.
Oh my.
When Sirius looks at Medora, does Medora produce body heat?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Anyway, those are our current options ahead of us. I would rather not walk past a sobbing thing and leave it behind us.
I would agree.
But that is my input.
I think we should look briefly for any information that might help us, very briefly, and then quickly move down, not to disturb the sobbing whatever it is.
Well, I
if
think
we just like crack the door open and put one of the familiars in, is that okay?
Like a periscope.
We did do that before. Yes, Medora.
Quick question for DM.
I have answers, maybe.
So
sometimes.
with how this corporate level's laid out, and you kind of gave us most of it, but is there any offices that kind of seem to be more of a... Sorry, I'm trying to properly ask this question. Is most of the level like almost like cubicle-like where it's...
But through the windows you can see there's like a cubicle workspace. You think that there is kind of a corner office deal for like the higher ups to work in. You would also know, with your knowledge of kind of the layout of the facility, the camera room would be somewhere on this floor. Like the surveillance room would be around here.
Ooh,
all right, guys. So really quick question: if we're trying to find more information, I say we can maybe go to a higher up's office, see if they got any documents. And then maybe a camera room, because usually on this floor, don't ask how I know, but usually on this kind of floor for most places like this, they also have the camera room. Now,
well, that most likely then is to the medical room.
Yeah, the thing is, my spell should still be working, where we have to stay within 30 feet of me. So where do we want to go first? Because I think once we go to medical bay, that's like personal mental that's past like a point of return.
We have to pass the child or the sobbing to go anywhere else.
Okay.
I think we check the offices briefly and then move on to the medical bay.
I could go.
Well, I think we have to. So DM, we would have to go through like the medical room to get to like the offices and stuff, right? Or am I thinking of the wrong thing?
Nope, they're on opposite sides of the building. So you have
the offices are closer.
Offices, medical.
I see.
Yep. And where is the crying coming from?
That is in a storage room right next to the medical. It's kind of like down here-ish.
Yeah. So we'd still have to pass the storage room to...
Yeah, if you want to get into the medical, you're going to have to pass the storage room.
Okay.
I think we need to go figure out whatever's crying first.
Yeah.
In the area that we're in, you want to go into the one place that has some suspicious crying?
That's a
out
good
of
point.
character.
Yeah.
I have so much paranoia that as soon as we go to like the offices and come back, the crying's gonna stop, and then it's gonna be even scarier.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
just-
Either
say.
that or it's gonna be behind us. All right, like
so much
As,
paranoia.
as much as I don't want to put us in more danger, I would rather address the possible danger first before doing anything else, because I don't want that thing coming behind us while we're doing other things.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Do you want me to go check it out?
You stay here.
Nose goes.
I'm gonna go forward.
Or Talith will
Send him by
volunteer.
himself.
I'm gonna go.
Who's
with
Talith going
I'm gonna
so strong? Like, this
I'm
is
gonna
crazy.
crouch down and get real quiet and attempt to stealth DM.
Fantastic. Please roll a stealth check. I would also like to point out that if we're looking at standard horror movie roles and you look at DJ and Drew, are they not the person who would say, guys, I know our battery is low on our flashlight.
But let's go.
Basement is just right over there.
It could have some good stuff.
What better place
okay.
to hide than in the basement?
I will say I will also follow because knowing I have the spell, so you also will still get the plus 10
Yes.
bonus to your stealth check.
Yes, you will.
17.
So it's just Oda and Leslie left in the dark back at the back of the hall.
No, I look at you guys and I'm like, it's the look of like,
Wait,
if
is
you
Addie
wanna
coming?
live.
Is Addie coming too? Did she say that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I missed that.
Addie's not leaving.
Okay, that's great.
Oda will
Get far
follow.
enough ahead to be ready to back them up, but Leslie is as afraid as Oda. So I think Leslie's trying to
Oda's
hide
not
behind
afraid.
Oda.
DJ's afraid.
Yes.
Two old
Okay,
men in
good.
the back.
Leslie
Oda's like, this is them getting
hiding
the
a little
office.
bit.
DJ's horrified though.
Fantastic. Anyone who is approaching the door, please tell me your stealth scores.
19.
19,
Is that with plus 10?
the plus 10 and added.
Okay, I gotta make sure.
5.
And it was a
Oh.
17 from you, Drew?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there anyone else approaching the storage door?
How
guess-
close
No
is
way.
it
Is it me on a technicality?
We're all like 30 feet behind the two of them.
In that case, no.
Because I'm technically like walking
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
22.
22, perfect. You are quiet as a mouse. I should roll just to see whether or not I'm rolling hot tonight. Specifically as Talith, as you approach the door and you lay a hand on the storage room door, the sobbing has like a hitch in it,
Mhm.
and then you don't hear it anymore.
Okay. Still
Bad.
not opening the door yet. Just having a hand on the door.
Mhm.
I'm going to attempt to kind of extend my psychic ability just to see if I can actually sense any consciousness on the other side of the door.
Yeah, that's a thing that you're asking.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Tell me, what do you think you should roll for this, Drew?
Oh boy.
Intelligence perception check.
Maybe. Well, let's see, DM. I mean, DM. What stat would you associate
Okay,
with?
I'll just do it for you. Tell you what, psychic ability. You're trying to sense something on the other side. Roll.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you intelligence. Roll intelligence perception.
Intelligence perception. Sure.
I
I'll
had a
take that.
feeling you were going to say a saving throw for a second.
I'll do it for you.
I'll do
Roll
it for
that
you.
save.
Hey, look, I'll give the option. You take too long, I'm taking it back.
Well, I was just going to ask what you associate with my my gift,
with
my
your
supernatural
psychic stuff?
gift.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's actually a decent roll for once. 19, DM.
Sure. I'll give it to you. You sense a mental energy beyond the door.
Okay, so it is a conscious thinking creature.
There's a conscious thinking creature behind the door.
I hope it's like a freaking beholder but like the rotten ones,
Don't
and
say
it's just gonna
things
like
like
eat
that.
us.
Oh,
Okay.
that is
I
not
hope that
funny.
it's like the
You're freaking me
game,
out.
and then you like pull the fake fire, the fake fire door, and then it just creature eats you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so taking my hand off the door, I will turn to Addie, and I will say, mentally, whatever is beyond this door is a thinking creature. So it's not a zombie or a construct or an illusion.
Okay.
Do you want to take a stab at this thing?
Yep.
I will step aside and let her step forward.
I'm so nervous. Oda and Leslie will catch up at this point.
No.
I'm going to equip both of my hand axes and dual wield them.
Nice.
So,
Sure, Leslie will pull out his gun.
Is there a light in the storage, or is it just like completely dark in there?
You do not see any light from underneath the door.
Oh boy. Okay.
I would
Literally
say I could help with that, but I can't.
Oda.
That's really funny.
Have you
a human?
Did I miss something? Have you opened this door?
No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
No.
I just really wanted to
They're
make sure
still
that you guys weren't asking me.
They're still just
like,
standing
is it dark?
tense.
Okay.
We're waiting
It's fine. I
for
have
the
dark vision. I can see
spring
things.
for the attack.
It's great. You can
Like
tell me
a-
what to swing at. It's fine.
Like a cat ready to
It's like
pounce.
it's like when you flirt with a girl at the pool hall, he'll just like puppeteer your arm.
What?
Okay.
You know when they like lean over and they're like, "This is how you like hold the pool cue," and it's all
Or mini
gross and
golf.
creepy.
Actually,
Yeah.
that is actually a good question. DM, can Sirius can't come up around like Addie's shoulders and just point?
Sure.
Snake tongue.
Snake vision
Sirius
on
provides
Addie.
the help action.
All right. I will slowly just nudge the door open with my foot.
Mhm.
My axe is at the ready. And I am going to if the light that's let in, if I can see anything immediately, I want to just do a quick scan. If not, I'll just call out
You slide open the door very slowly. Thanks for the sound effect there, Grant.
Oh, that was good.
I got you.
The light coming in from the hallway is dim and flickering, just enough so that way you can see the ground beneath, kind of a path of where you're supposed to be going. It is enough to kind of creep past the door as it swings open, and it lands on a huddled and shivering form that is hard to make out at first. It kind of resembles an old, like, Apollo 11 spacesuit, like kind of the moon landing suit in some ways. It has a big glass dome that you can't see past, and it is huddled in a ball with its hands over like its face, hiding from presumably you.
Ed.
How close
And you go
Dr.
poke it with
Who
a stick.
are we getting with this episode?
Huh?
Doctor Who, did you use this episode?
Yeah, he's very Doctor Who. Very Doctor Who.
Out of curiosity.
Well,
Because I'm thinking of a very specific episode and I'm very unnerved right now.
Oh gosh, if this is the episode that I'm thinking of too.
I love Doctor Who, and I just want you to know that. But before we proceed through this episode, big fan of Doctor Who. I've seen pretty much every episode up until gosh dang, what's his face, the old man,
Conrad Evans.
Capaldi.
Yeah, Capaldi. Thing
Not even
started with a
close.
C. Yeah. So yeah, make your decisions knowing this.
Cool. Awesome. Shit.
Don't poke it with a stick.
Oh god.
I mean,
Going
serious.
to-
I could say serious. in there.
Guys,
Keep my
what's happening?
axes at the ready.
What's-
And I'm gonna call out.
You hear a kind of muffled squeal, and a voice just says, "Please no."
No,
Okay. Can I send Sirius in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for the kill.
And and he'll just very.
Like, I'm gonna talk to it, and Drew immediately was like, "No, the snake."
Send in the snake.
Well, he's just seriously is just gonna very, very, very slowly like kind of approach, and then just kind of like very casually, not like in like an aggressive, like ready to like viper spring out at it, but like just very casually kind of coil in front of it, and I'm going to like from his perspective, I'm going to attempt to look up at it.
Yeah. From Sirius's perspective, you can just hear almost like a repetitive muttering prayer of just please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me.
Can I make an insight on that?
You cannot see through the visor. Yeah, make an insight check.
Gracie, does Addie keep talking to it?
I'm gonna question.
Ooh, okay.
No
All right. Yeah. 22.
22. You think that this is a purely terrified voice.
Okay, great.
There's no hiding the fact that whoever this is absolutely terrified.
And based on the sound of the voice, does it actually sound like a child?
No. It is probably an adult woman, most likely.
Okay.
This is a full grown, like this is a full like astronaut suit size. This is we're not putting River Song in the suit as a child.
Yeah.
We didn't do
that.
That's not what I was going for either. I will put a very gentle hand on Addie's shoulder as I kind of take a step forward, and then kind of another step, and like kind of just after I get past the threshold of the room, I'll kneel down. We aren't gonna hurt you. We're just here to figure out what's going on, what happened with this place.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
I would. Oh, can I suggest that it has advantage because Addie was already trying to calm it down?
Yes, I will absolutely. Addie, you were attempting to communicate. It's a combination of your neutral, super not at all murdery voice and the super not at all creepy voice.
Dual wielding hand axes while talking to her.
You can't see. It's fine.
Well, I rolled double 13s, so a total of 16, DM.
16. The muttered prayer kind of stops. You do think that your words got to her. She will kind of like peek through her fingers a little bit. You can't see her eyes by any means. But she will look up and she'll say, Are you real?
Still kind of keeping a hand up for everyone else, just being like, hey, just,
Stay back.
We're all real. There's a few of us here. We just recently came to this outpost to investigate what happened. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
The hurting stopped a long time ago.
I'm very sorry. You must have been through a lot.
I'm okay.
What's your name? I'm Talith.
Maddie.
I'm Dr. Hatira Whale.
Wait, that's not the same doctor we're looking for, is it?
No, you were looking for a doctor.
I didn't think so.
He doesn't even the doctor's.
I'm like, great.
He heard doctor. On the phone.
Time to go.
Dr. Whale, can you... Are you able to stand?
I can stand fine.
Okay.
Talith, hang on. Dr. Whale, how long have you been here for?
I've been stationed in Guard Post 1 for 5 years. More recently, I was promoted to assistant medical within the past 6 months.
Okay. How long have you been in this room for?
My screen says 3 months.
Okay. Okay.
Can you tell us what happened?
I don't really know. The test subjects were released. It had unexpected results, but the head doctor hid with me in this room for a while before the food ran out. And then she left. I didn't want to go with her because I was scared. So I hid here and I stayed safe in the suit.
Okay. What was the head doctor's name?
That would be Dr. Anna Rose.
That's our doctor. That's our doctor.
Yes, we know.
Okay.
Great, we know.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Well,
Boy, okay.
This is her suit.
so she left not in her suit?
What?
You said,
Oh, this is well, it was an attempt. It was an old creation of hers. It was meant to sustain vitals.
I understand.
You said the test subjects got out.
Yes.
These test subjects, were they subjects you were testing Quicksteel on?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you from command?
Yes, they sent us to investigate because we weren't hearing back from this post, or any of the posts, actually.
Any of them? This happened to the other ones too?
All of them.
It seems that some sort of coordinated effort happened with the whole moon.
That's concerning. There are a lot of very dangerous people on that moon. Is the barrier still up?
Yes.
That means that the evacuation protocols were maintained. That's good. Are there any other survivors that you've found?
Not so far. To your knowledge, are any of the test subjects still here?
I mean, if the evacuation protocols were maintained, then nothing should be able to leave and nothing should be able to come. Everything should still be. Oh God, they're still here.
Okay.
Sorry,
we're gonna get you out of here. Okay.
Okay. Yes, Medora.
While that whole conversation's happening, since I'm assuming all three of us outside the door are like kind of staring at it, can I like turn around and like double check our surroundings once yeah.
Yeah. I won't need you to roll a check for this. You do not see any movement. You do not sense any movement on this floor.
Okay. We're fine, guys. We're fine.
Which of us has the kid?
I believe they're still on the boat, right?
Kid's still on
Yeah,
the
the kid's on the boat. So Captain Silvers.
Captain Silvers and the child are still
He's the
on
regular
your ship.
babysitter at this point.
Yeah.
I would trust Captain Silvers with no one's child, but he's been doing a great job.
We want to get Dr. Whale back to the skirmisher.
So much more to find here. I'm now
I think we go on and then collect on the way back.
What's up, Talith?
So Talith, like basically fully just like kneeling down on the ground in front of her, and looking at her. He'll say, I apologize. I'm not familiar enough with your research. If these test subjects that have been that you've been experimenting with the quick steel on are loose, one, is there any way that you know of to possibly extract the quick steel out of them?
I mean, it would require a very extensive surgery. They would basically need to be, drained. Quick steel is a fascinating material. All of its effects are as of yet still unknown. It would be very difficult.
I love how you were like, Quicksilver is a very fascinating material, and both Gracie and I just immediately squinted our eyes like, what do you mean by that?
And you said that with this batch of test subjects, it had unforeseen results. What did you mean by that?
Well, our testing is medical in nature. It's preserving life. In some of the soldiers here referred to us as immortalum. That was the name that they referred to the doctors here, meaning that we were searching for a route to immortality. Quick steel has proven useful in that way. We were not expecting the madness. And it was frighteningly effective.
Now, you said preserve life. Does that mean these creatures can't be harmed? Or that it just takes a lot more to inflict harm?
How would you determine what is alive?
How would you?
In order for something to be alive, it requires several things. It requires a vessel of some sort, aka a body. It requires a mind, some form of thought or presence. And it requires a soul. That is the best definition that we could find in our research. People brought up the question of plants. Are plants alive? But it is proven with the spell Speak with Plants that they do have some semblance of thought or awareness, and therefore a soul. Quick steel has a very unique property in that it binds not only to flesh, but also to souls.
Oh.
So the thought process was that if two of the three can be maintained, then the third can be protected. And therefore acquire infinite life. If the body, soul, and spirit can never be separated, then they can never die per se. In some ways, we were correct. Their hearts do not stop beating. They do not suffer from pain or injury. when they are broken, it is the difference between broken and unbroken is minuscule. Unfortunately, their minds are not tethered. With as much presence as the body and soul had, the mental strain was found to often be too much. We were searching for ways to alleviate that, and have not as of yet found a solution.
Who were you testing on?
Violent prisoners. Survivors of the rebellion. Of course, those who were non-rehabilitable.
How many?
In our station, no more than 10 to 20 at any point in time.
So they're all here?
No, that's across the course of all of our research. At the time of the incident, there were 6.
What happened to the other 14?
Oh, most did not survive the operations. The ones that did, at times, died shortly after or were disposed of.
Okay.
Who all outside of this prison knows about Quicksteel?
I mean, you would know better than I. I mean, it's
buyers.
I mean, it's
Anyone
Command's main
interested
project.
In investing in this?
Well, of course, Quicksteel is perhaps the most valuable resource of all. You should know that.
Who?
Why are you asking me? I'm just a doctor. I just perform experiments. I search for answers to questions that haven't been solved. If you're quizzing me because you think that I have betrayed the coalition,
don't be concerned. We're just trying to get to the bottom of who might have been behind all of this, and who might have vested interest in attacking your research facility and the rest of the prison, of course.
If you're asking me, I don't think that it was from the outside. I think that I don't know. Yes, Oda.
The coalition, is that the current governing body of Ouroboros?
Yes. It is specifically referring to the military forces of Ouroboros.
So the military is commissioning experiments on prisoners for super soldiers.
I'm going to turn to Talith and just tap my brain while making eye contact.
I love how there's
and I'm just gonna see if he.
Oh yeah, yeah. You like Talith looks at you and you can read his eyes. He is definitely thinking the same thing you are. He'll. I don't know how far away I am, but he'll very very slowly approach the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And say,
at this point in time, you're maybe 5-10 feet away. You're pretty close.
Okay. Doctor, if it's all right with you, I just need you to remain calm. Again, none of us are here to hurt you, but just please stay calm. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. And he'll just very gently place just one of his hands on her temple.
It is still below the helmet.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh God.
So yeah, he'll approach and kind of so far from what we've encountered, all the life support systems are still operational, and you don't need to fear about continuing to wear the suit if that's one of your concerns.
I don't know.
I'm gonna ready an action.
The suit keeps me alive. If I take off the suit, I will get hurt. I don't like hurt.
Why do you say that?
Do you like getting hurt?
No. Why will you get hurt if you take off the suit?
Because the suit keeps me alive.
Are you hurt?
Not anymore.
It was the doctor's special suit designed for this.
No.
No?
Talith looks to Medora. And he says, are we talking to a spirit right now? In her head.
DM, can I do a check to see if we're talking to a spirit or not?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
What's going on with this Gree?
Man. Roll a
So scared.
oh gosh. Ooh. I want this to be. Can you roll a wisdom arcana check for me? So if you're proficient in arcana, add your proficiency bonus. If not, just roll me a wisdom check.
Boy, oh boy. Wait. No. Okay. 17?
That's pretty good.
You sense a soul. So this is not a dead person. There is a soul present and attached to a body.
Okay.
But on a technicality, if we're going, I relay this to him, but I'm like, on a technicality, if we are going off of this doctor's definition of to be alive, I don't know.
Okay, knowing this. Again, kind of kneeling down. Like she has like it's like the sun visor on. Like that's why we can't see her face.
Yeah, it is. It is like blacked out.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dr. Whale, just so I can confirm your identity, will you lift your visor for me?
She says, yeah, that should be fine.
Oh God.
And she reaches up to like press a button, and the suit speaks out. The visor cannot be removed.
Bruh.
I'm just saying, you have a cleric of death here.
God.
If we need to like rip a helmet off and then do some like spare the dying, always a back pocket situation.
Life support must be maintained.
Yeah, something's not right with her.
Why does life support need to be maintained? Ask the suit.
Okay, so this is a visor, right? Sunglasses. If we were to shine a light in somehow, would that give enough light to see inside?
Find this one.
You think maybe?
Okay.
Oh no.
See,
I would then, knowing that, I'm assuming that Addie can't. I guess would this be druid? Can I use druidcraft for this?
Yeah, you can make some little glowy firefly light.
I want to make like a nice, at least valuable glowing orb, enough to possibly shed some light, get it, and then I just kind of push it their way, kind of like with into the room.
Yeah, you bring the light close to the visor and kind of peer in. You do not see a head within the visor.
All right, folks.
Heck you too, DM. Heck you too.
I don't like this.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm
DM,
so
how thick is the suit?
It's like pretty hefty.
Okay.
I think we got enough information out of her. I think, just
We
Yeah,
locked her in the closet again.
could just
we can come back.
I need more answers though.
What do you mean you can come back? You're not going to leave me here.
No.
Oh, that's not no.
Okay. Can I offer offer a hand to help her stand to her feet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She grabs your hand and stands up.
Okay.
Suit companion.
Okay. And I guess
I'm
I
the
will
only one that's looking positively at this.
I will kind of help lead her out of this room.
Mm-hmm. She seems like a little unsteady.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she's walking fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you left behind from sitting down?
No.
Is there any layer of dust?
No.
So
Is there
a dusty room?
What was that question?
It's not
Addie?
like a dusty room. Is there any layer
I mean,
of dust?
there's like
around
dust
where
that
she
is
was
built
sitting?
up. You do think that she's moved around some in this area just to readjust, maybe peek through the door every once in a while.
Okay.
But her movements just seem a little awkward. Yes, Soda.
I'm just gonna really quick use my eyes at the grave.
Yes.
To detect any undead within 60 feet.
There is no undead within 60 feet of you.
But she doesn't have a head, Aaron.
Well, here's the thing.
No.
I look at Oda and I'm like, on the technicality of her definition, there is a vessel.
Exactly.
And there is technically.
I will also say this does not fall within the realms of your ability, but because you use an ability, I will give this to you. You do sense that there is flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There is like physical bodily components somewhere in the suit that is not emitting heat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I used to work with Dr. Anna Rose, and I will admit that she was very unconventional in her methods. If she made this suit, then I would not be surprised if she found a way to make whatever's happening here possible. This could have very well been her intention.
Dr. Hatira will say, "You worked with Rachel? When?"
Oh, well, it was a long time ago. Different time ago.
She is amazing.
She is. Do you have any idea what she maybe did once she left?
She said she was going to get out of here. That she had a plan. And if I know Dr. Anna Rose, I should say, I don't think that she'd die here. It had been several weeks before everyone else was killed.
Forgive me, I'm not quite as familiar with the good doctor. When did she join the project?
It was after she was captured. She originally fought on a rebellion ship. She was actually the doctor aboard Captain Leslie's ship, the Skirmisher. And when she was captured, they recognized her prowess as a doctor and her capabilities, and offered her a position as both a prisoner, but also with a privilege that most prisoners are not granted, and the ability to continue research, which she accepted.
And do you think she fled?
Yeah.
I mean, if the evacuation protocols were maintained, she would not have been able to leave this facility outside of the barrier. But she could have headed to the moon.
Okay.
We have
so our plan
hooks,
stands.
ladies and gentlemen.
Our plan stands. We move forward. We try to get through.
Doctor, do you know most of the way on this floor? Do you remember at all?
Of course, I know this entire facility.
Okay. And I kind of like turn. Hopefully she can't hear me. I'm like, let's just keep her in front of us so that we can see her, because we can't even look inside the visor, let alone what she might be able to do, what might be or not be in that suit.
Yeah. Here's a question. Okay. So couple questions.
I have several answers.
I assume I can sense some form of arcana like pulsing within this suit, right?
Yeah. Would you like to try to get a read on what the suit does?
Yes, please.
Yeah, make an arcana check.
Read his mind.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
We finally got there. Drew got a good roll, everybody.
Let's go. First time on the paper dungeon.
26 DM.
26. Yeah, when you are helping her up, you're kind of able to get a better look at the function of this suit. It is interesting. It brings several things to mind. Upon closer look, the suit is not all fabric. You see that there's a lot of like intricate, almost like clockwork pieces to it. There's a lot of mechanism. Cool. You think that it functions almost closer to like an exoskeleton than like kind of a dumpy, like float around the moon type of spacesuit. Like it most likely enhances strength. It has like a pretty solid defense. The fabric is like not a fabric that you could pull to mind. You think that it probably has defensive capabilities in it of itself, to the point where it could almost be considered armor. Going on the more like magical and technical side of it, the processes in this suit that you're able to ascertain is the purpose of the suit is to keep the body functioning with incredibly limited resources. Where if, let's say that you were on an extended trek across a vast distance without food or water, so you're unable to take off the suit, you aren't able to eat anything, you aren't able to drink anything, it would begin to degrade the non-necessary functions of the body in order to keep the body running, and then rely on the exoskeleton to continue moving. So it may consume a leg knowing that it could keep walking as long as the nutrients from that leg could be used to keep the body functioning.
Oh, God. So theoretically, this like flesh within this thing is only the things that it needs. So like maybe the brain, the organs, like theoretically.
Yes, it is kind of a self-cannibalizing suit for survival.
Yikes. That is exactly up Dr. Anna Rose's wheelhouse. Yuck.
Okay. I there might be no way for me to ascertain this. Is there any quick steel used in the suit?
You think probably.
Probably.
Very trace amounts though. Almost more as like a coolant.
It's like lead in Stanley cups.
Yeah, pretty much. Not enough to really care about, you know? It'll only kill you a little bit.
Only if it cracks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So basically, yeah, as I help her to her feet and kind of walk her a little bit closer to the rest of the group, and I kind of naturally kind of begin to ascertain this as I kind of try and like peek through the door, so to speak. There is a brain somewhere in there.
It's fallen right next to the heart. Neck wasn't necessary.
Talith is like, someday I'm gonna touch that brain.
I have to like actually like physically touch her in order to gain any sort of memory.
You have to have hand to skin contact, which you think might be hard if there is no skin.
You got to find a hole and just like feel around until you find a brain.
It's like reach into the Iron Man chest hole in Iron Man 1 to pull out that feel.
Or it's like a pinata. She would probably die.
Okay, so as I kind of ascertain some of this, I will, even if it takes a couple moments, because I don't want to say this out loud, I am going to like message people individually and kind of relay some of that information. Just so they are kind of up to speed as to what the heck is going on with this person. Yeah, Medora, I think you're pretty much right on the money. She's alive.
So basically, the candlelight's flickering, but no one's home.
I think someone.
Or part of someone.
There's no wick.
Yeah.
Or there's less wax than there used to be.
The ghost light.
There's less wax. There's less wax, but the issue is the wax isn't, didn't go from tall to short. It went from thick to skinny.
I'm a big fan of
from there to non-existent.
I think there's a chance that the analogy has gone on too far.
Way too far.
The wick is burning.
Let's go down to the generator.
How can you sleep when the wick is burning?
The wick is burning. Do we want to look in that weird door with rubble in front of it or not?
I would still like to go to the surveillance room.
Yeah, absolutely. You can easily have Hatira guide you anywhere that you are looking. If you have any questions about this facility, she can answer them. So she will guide you to the surveillance room. It is specifically into that kind of conference room with all of the glass windows. There's just a little side door that leads into a windowless room. That just has like a bunch of like viewing orbs.
Oh, cool.
I love
that are hooked up to various clairvoyances throughout the building.
Okay. Now
can we like FNAF it? Like flip through cameras?
I assume DM there is not enough power to really get this running how it's normally supposed to function.
You are correct. They are not running at max capacity.
Could I, using my Arcana, though, tap into the natural, like the base function of the spell that these things are built off of in order to try to scan through and see if I can't spot anything through these different cameras?
I would let you choose to basically reroute the power to one of them. What type of the facility, like where would you like to look? They are labeled so that you are able to kind of get an idea of kind of where these would be pointed. There is one that is into core, barracks. There is the like medical office, and then primary.
I mean,
core would probably be generator, right?
Probably. Jar Jar, Gracie, you have any thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been stuck thinking about the guy from upstairs, and I really want to go back and see if his eyes had quick steel in them because I'm kind of paranoid now.
Agreed.
That's all I've been thinking about.
The corpse that was stuck in the room.
The corpse,
because we have
that we unlocked the room for.
Yes,
that's a fair point.
Aaron,
I so hope we go through. There's not a body in that room. How horrifying that would be.
I have not been able to stop thinking about that since we came into the storage room.
Hey, Addie, you want to go up there with you want to go up and check that out?
Let's split the party.
Yeah, that's
big
a great
question.
idea.
How much time has passed now? I'm trying to.
Oh, it hasn't been more than like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of time.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, we've been sitting here for like 3 hours.
Now, DM, with these cameras, there isn't any way for me to look back in time, is there? Look through the recordings.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe there are some VCR tapes, an old like box TV somewhere with a slot on it.
As Talith is like scrolling through, Oda leans over to Addie. You want to go check on that body?
Yep.
Don't you know to never split the party? I mean,
Addie and Oda are gonna go check it out.
Let me just. I just really want to. I really want to look at this.
I'll stay with the surveillance.
Okay.
I'll let them have their fun. Medora, you can do whatever you'd like to do. You can go to the generator room if you want. Why not?
I will say, for the purpose
He goes now.
For the purpose of this is such a horror game thing to occur. Absolutely. Okay. Now, here's the important thing.
I can still
when you are looking through this, you need to choose either sight or sound. You can only get one of them.
Oh, cool choice, DM.
Well, that's just because that's what the clairvoyance spell does.
Right. And I can still, but I can still only choose one camera.
Still only one camera. You can also, like, if you choose to view into the past, you will not be able to look currently.
Right.
Can you imagine if we only got the sound and it's just them like raspily like murdering everybody?
Okay, well, if that's the case, then man, dang it. Okay, I was really hoping to look in the medical room to see what happened, but it'd probably be better to look at the generator to see if somebody like sabotaged the generator.
Well,
we can
go very clearly tell if
you would know that the generator needs constant supply from mages. So if everyone is dead, there is no way for it to get energy.
Right.
So
what I was getting at is like seeing, like looking back in time at the generator to see what happened, because that is likely what caused everything else.
Yeah.
Or there was a mistake in the medical room and they got out.
Well, because here's my thought. It's one of two things. Either one, yes, something happened just in the medical room, they got out, unleashed chaos. Or two, something happened in the generator which released them from the medical room.
But the generator only provides power. It's not like locking people. I mean, obviously it's blocking the barrier, but
but it's providing power to this whole facility. It's providing power to this whole facility. Yeah. So if they're behind, if they're locked behind, like secured within like anything that requires power from that generator, if that power goes down, they could break out. That's what I'm saying.
Like in Five Nights at Freddy's.
If you check the medical room, you're going to know that it was either determined by a power outage or something else. Rather, if you just check the generator, if it wasn't that, you don't know anything.
Also, just a fun little tidbit, a fun little aside. Did you know that on D&D Beyond, you can like see spell tags for like certain things? There's only one spell that has the tag scrying, and it is not scry.
That's awesome.
It's clairvoyance. Okay. I don't know why.
Now I'm looking.
You know, that is a fair point, DJ, and I appreciate your counsel.
You're gonna do the generator anyway, aren't you?
Talus got the remote.
No, he will look at the medical room.
Okay, excellent. While Talus is watching that, Addie and Oda go check on the body.
Fantastic.
Oh God. I almost played in Among Us. I held myself back.
Sirius is oh my word, you still have Melody. That
just means you can look in, you can check in.
See, here's the thing. You know? Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm imagining. Here's the problem. Okay, I am imagining this is happening, and Talith isn't even aware of the fact that Addie and Oda just left because he's focusing on this clairvoyance crystal.
Yeah, he's got magic stuff to do.
Meaning,
bro.
I'm going to come back, and Oda's just going to be gone, and I'm going to be pissed.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Talith. Who out of everybody in the party, Addie and Oda are the best people to have Melody with, because Addie can protect Melody, and if anything happens to Melody, Oda can heal her.
Okay.
Unless all three of you are dead.
Well, unless all of us are dead, at which point it sucks to suck. Sorry, I'm dead.
And I have, and Talith has a control issue. Okay.
Well, yeah, but like,
should Medora go with you guys for Pass Without a Trace?
All that being said, though,
matters at this point.
All that being said, though, Sirius is like wrapped around my neck and is just gonna give like a very light, like he's gonna like keeping my eyes around me just to make sure,
watch.
And like he'll give just a very light squeeze, just if he notices something that is potentially dangerous to my well-being.
Fantastic. I'm going to start with Oda and Addie because I can.
He's excited for this one.
Head back upstairs, and you go to the room. You walk up to the door that you have pried away enough that a medium creature could walk through one at a time.
Like medium and a half.
Would you say it like
Oda's
that?
got
Medium and a half. Yeah, he's
a
got
little
a
bit
bit of
of
girth.
body, a little bit of a belly, you know.
You look into the room and you scan it. And you see the corpse still in the corner.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Thank God.
I'm just saying that would have been a way cooler idea than I had, but I don't want to just cheat.
Okay, we go over.
It's not cheating if it's a good idea.
Would have been way cooler, but then there would have been a
Digging
seventh
my own
guy,
grave.
and it's like, you know, really cool idea though. You guys should DM.
I do want to go up to it, and I just want to
Just take off its head.
honestly, my understanding is the message that was scratched into the floor or the wall was by the corpse.
Yes.
Does he have quicksteel in his eyes?
What is left of his eyes? No.
Okay. Is there any residue of quicksteel around?
You don't even need to search for it. You do not detect any quicksteel in or near this corpse at all.
Okay.
You think that this is most likely someone who's running and
this is like a
barricaded
warning.
themselves in the room in order to like prevent death, and then
Okay.
we're too afraid to leave and starve to death.
Gotcha. That was wasn't sure, like something wasn't adding up, but I also wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And I
You
just
are-
wanted to go back and check. Cool.
Man, that would have been so cool. I
You
wish
could've
that I
run
was
with
that
it.
smart.
You should have
But
run.
that feels like
Wow.
cheating, you know?
Oda will
That way.
go ahead and he reaches into his bag and he pulls out like a plastic suit that he kind of puts over everything, and then he's gonna pick
that's
up the
kinda
body and he's
hot.
gonna put it by the door so he can also add it to the other corpses that he's gonna take care of later.
Oh
Fantastic.
man, Oda doesn't put on the plastic suit.
No, Oda put on the plastic suit,
Oh,
Little
he does.
hazmat suit.
a
Is it
hazmat
tight?
suit to deal with the decaying body.
Is
Down
it a tight
in
plastic? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, all right, sexy nerd, calm down. Down in the kind of watcher room, in the surveillance room, that's what it's called.
Movie night.
I'm assuming that you were going back and kind of scanning through the time when the stuff happened.
Yeah.
You're able. It's kind of hard to watch for everyone else who is still watching, because he's like standing there and he's like shaking as like visions rush past as you reverse time through
I'm
this
gonna
orb.
calmly put a hand
Okay,
on his
Doctor
shoulder.
Strange.
Yeah,
as
it is
potential
very
comfort.
Doctor Strangey. Until eventually, I mean, you see really, really fast commotion, not fast enough to even pick up on what's going on, until you stop on the day in the medical room. You got a relatively all right view of the room itself through Sirius earlier. There are tables and gurneys and like these tubes that are able to fit a full person in kind of back to tank style. Through the doors that are currently now covered by rubble. At this point in time in the image, they are not. You see a tabaxi walk through wearing a lab coat. You can assume, most likely at this clearance level, that is most likely Dr. Rachel Anna Rose.
Can I confirm it?
Yes.
Oh wait,
you would know.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but you would know that this is the correct doctor.
Yeah.
You're just kind of combing through the day as a whole, operating in like 1.5 speed, to just kind of see what happened. Can you roll an insight check for me?
Yep.
That is what I'm going to ask for, an insight check.
Certainly can, DM. I was suspecting this. Well, if it is still what I think it is. Ooh, back down to bad rolls.
I should have asked. I'm assuming that you're using vision, not sound.
Yes, vision. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Only a 10, DM.
Good 10. You cannot detect anything particularly out of the ordinary from her. She goes about her daily tasks, sits down, she writes some notes. She walks in and out of those doors, the kind of rubble doors is what I'll refer to them as, a couple of times. She walks up, she places her hand on one of the Bacta tanks. You can see her mouth moving, but you can't hear what she says. She walks over to the consoles and types some stuff into them, goes about her day, and eventually leaves the room. Time passes roughly 2 to 3 hours, and one of the doors on those tanks just slides open. Liquid gushes out that was kind of suspending the person that was within it, and they fall to the ground, like shivering, huddled, kind of like jerking around, until eventually they settle, pick themselves up, look around for a moment. You can see even in the kind of recording that there is a sense of clarity in their eyes. And then they like look around, they examine their area, kind of where they've opened their eyes, before they suddenly like hunch over like something punched them in the gut. They hold their head and start to just like scratch at their face and at their arms, their mouth open in a voiceless scream. And then they just begin to thrash. Their arm swings around, completely like punching a hole and shattering the glass on one of the other tanks. Just running around the room, slamming into walls, into desks, into chairs, into the console themselves, slamming their fists into anything they can get their hands on. Until eventually their thrashing combined with the next one that falls out of that shattered tank that once again wakes up, immediately is frightened of the creature that they see before they too hunch over in some form of pain. Eventually, all 6 of the tanks have been shattered and they are mindlessly running, slamming into things, their fists shaking the walls. They flinch as the doors to the disinfectant kind of hallway slide open, and then they sprint out of the medical bay. And that is all you can see. Eventually, later in the day, some time passes, and I'll even give you a little bit more. I'll let you speed up. Nothing enters the room for a long time until about 2 weeks pass, and Dr. Anna Rose enters the room and goes through those doors covered by rubble. And then at some point in time between then and now, a portion of the wall and ceiling crumbles and covers those doors.
Okay.
That is all you get from your recordings.
And DM, the earlier in the day, the did she like go up to each of the tanks, or was it just the one tank that she went to, and was that the same one that opened?
Yes. Okay. It was just that first tank.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that was entertaining.
Yeah, Oda and Addie, you return downstairs to see the tail end of Talith shaking like a little white dog. Those little white dogs always shaking around.
He's been doing this for a while now. He's been looking through the day at 1.5 speed, which is not much faster than an actual
fair,
day
Leslie.
goes.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay, is everything
okay? Looking at Leslie, how committed? In his head, he hears this. How committed to the rebellion was your doctor?
Well,
do you know the answer to that, Grant?
I think so.
Okay.
I'll tell you what Leslie thinks.
Absolutely.
Well, I never could tell if she was fully there for the rebellion itself or for the opportunity to try things that she's always wanted to. But I would say that she was passionate for what she was doing. So I'd like to say yes.
How likely do you think it is that she purposely sabotages the whole facility?
I would think she would only...
Better question.
Okay.
How likely do you think she would be
Little
willing
mulligan?
to sacrifice everybody on this facility for the sake of her research?
Sheesh. I mean, I would like to believe that she wouldn't do that sort of thing, but I'll be honest, I don't know if I knew her well enough to say she wouldn't do something to that extreme for her research. I'd like to think that she cared about the people that we were with. But then again, I'm not sure of much anymore after what happened.
Okay. Looking around, everyone's back in the room, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You never even knew that Melody left.
Never even knew. Great. As Tal starts to talk, how close is Dr. Whale?
She's within the room. This room isn't huge, so she's probably about 10, 15 feet.
Vibing.
Yeah. Somewhere between 5 and 15.
In the corner.
Okay.
Getting that hot fiver.
Yeah. Pretending to sip some coffee.
I would say she's taking a deep breath, but her lungs aren't there anymore, so.
Uh-huh.
The lungs aren't even
well,
necessary.
No. She needs
Life
one.
support,
She needs
see?
one.
Well, it's like
Well,
on
maybe
a
not.
technicality because I'm thinking just full brain, just the brain and possibly nervous system is.
I mean, you
the
just need
necessity?
oxygen. You just need
Well, the
oxygen to
suit
the
can
brain
provide that.
somehow. There's
Yeah.
a plentiful amount of oxygen
Well, if it's
in the
saying
facility.
but if it's saying vitals
fair.
though, I'm assuming the suit is.
Okay.
Maybe it's more like a PC.
Can
with
I?
a little brain in the middle.
Well, Can I just make sure that she's within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And as
You
Tal
do
starts-
some nonchalant shuffling.
Yeah, as he's kind of processing everything that's going on, he like purposely makes sure that he kind of ends up within 5 feet of her.
You pace into place.
Can I have her make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, absolutely. Question: what is this for?
Hypnotic gaze.
With what eyes?
Yeah.
With what?
Oh,
As long as she can see or hear me.
Okay. Yeah, she can hear you. The suit can hear you. And the suit will relay that to her brain. So yeah, I'll allow it. What's currently
DC,
it's a 20.
Oh my word.
17 on die, baby.
I don't know how proud of that Aaron is.
What can I say?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just pretty pumped about it. Stop hypnotizing my NPCs.
So far, it hasn't worked, my guy.
It worked on the unconscious one.
I will attempt a silvery barbs.
Oh yeah,
To
sure.
give her disadvantage. We'll see.
Sure.
Who are you giving advantage with this silvery barbs?
Addie.
Pick me. Dang it.
That is only going to be an 11.
Okay, that will fail then. So, just kind of casually as Tal at first, just kind of saying nonsense stuff just to get the hypnotic gaze going. To be honest, after he senses that she has fallen under the hypnotic gaze, he will say, "So this is what I learned on the day that everything went south. One of the containment units was opened. The subject at first seemed fine, but then after a moment, something seemed to come over them, and they lashed out violently, eventually breaking open one of the other containment units, which then allowed the other one to come out, and eventually the chaos just continued to unfold within the room itself. After a little while, the door leading out was opened, not by them. The only people who entered the room on that particular day was Dr. Rose herself. And while it was hard for me to tell for sure what might have been going through her head, of course, the containment unit that did open was the only containment unit that she addressed on that day. Now, that might have been just a coincidence, but that feels like pretty damning evidence to myself that she did this on purpose for whatever reason. Later, 2 weeks later specifically, she also came and went through the room again. I assume that is when she was trying to escape herself. Now, I assume either one, she saw the possible danger of this facility and was coordinating with perhaps surviving rebels or prisoners of the war, perhaps, or who knows, and purposely sabotaged this facility along with all the other ones, hoping that the chaos would lead to something. Or she is a sick, mental, twisted individual that really only cares about her research and nobody else, and just wanted to see what would happen. Perhaps looking for a chance for herself just to get out, and had nothing to do with anyone else. That is the information that I now hold. We still have 6 subjects unaccounted for somewhere in this facility.
Either way, we still need to try and find her.
And on the bright side, she definitely is our best bet for finding any real answers and helping the girl.
So we still just need to go to the generator then.
Yes.
Or go ahead, Addie.
Who gave you that suit?
Dr. Whale is currently not with us right now. But she said that she said
to come out, but it does not function correctly.
Yeah, she's currently incapacitated.
Okay.
But she did say that Dr. Rose gave it to her.
Okay. Can she hear us?
Not right now.
Comprehend us?
She cannot.
Can the suit?
The suit can, though.
That's a completely different question.
Goodness
Has
gracious.
the suit been listening?
Would you like to address the suit?
Yes.
What would you like to ask the suit?
Did Dr. Anna Rose give you the suit to Dr. Whale?
The body enhancement and repair suit is property of Dr. Rachel Anna Rose.
When were you... What's put into action? When were you...
Transferred?
Activated?
Activated. When were you activated for the first time?
I have been activated since creation.
When were you created?
Approximately 3 years ago.
How many bodies have you had inside of you?
This suit has aptly maintained 4 bodies.
Successfully?
Survival has been 100%.
What does it mean?
What does survival mean?
Define survival.
Necessary processes have been maintained.
For how long?
Until the suit is no longer required.
What do you do once the suit is no longer acquired?
Question not understood.
Are there 4 brains inside you?
No. This suit currently has 1 occupant.
Oh.
Talith, can you do the thing where you get inside my head?
He'll message you. What are you thinking?
I'm worried this might be another experiment, an ongoing experiment, and I wonder if information is being transmitted elsewhere.
DM.
Can we ask the suit if it's transmitting?
Yes.
I would like to use detect magic.
Absolutely.
Do I get any looking at the suit through detect magic? Do I get any specific pings that from arcane functions that would be used in spells for like transmitting information? So I don't remember. I don't know exactly what school of magic like sending and stuff is, but
there is a lot of magic that is required for sending signals. They all seem to be self-directed, like inside the suit. So you think that
it's not
looking over the suit with detect magic, you think that by core processes, you would assume that the only thing that remains of the doctor inside of the suit is most likely a brain and some form of heart.
Okay. And but everything is self-contained. Like everything
is self-contained.
Signal
even
like being sent out.
The nerve signals from the brain to the body have been replaced by the suit.
Yeah.
So that is where most of the magical communication is the brain sending signals to the body, which are currently being blocked by your magic.
Right. Okay, so
you also detect that the bracelet that Addie found earlier is magical.
Oh.
Ooh, yay.
Oh,
okay,
it is a knife
address
bracelet.
that in a minute.
I got a question for the suit. Are you the only prototype, or are there more?
To my knowledge, I am the only suit of my creation.
Dang.
Okay.
The suit sounds a lot like Baymax.
So messaging.
It is a doctor.
Messaging
Your pain.
Addie again. After he kind of gets some more information. Luckily, I don't think anything is being transmitted out of here, so we don't have to worry about somebody listening in on us. However, I do agree this is definitely another eccentric experimentation by the doctor. Possibly, well...
Guys, I just realized that I misspoke on what the name of the suit is. Oh. The suit's name is Body Enhancement and Repair. My apologies.
Body Enhancement. B-E-A.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
I looked over in my notes and I was like, oh shoot.
Body.
Guys, I swear.
Oh my gosh.
No correlation.
No, there has to be. No. I grab onto Leslie's shoulders.
She didn't know me as Bear.
Did anybody else know you as Bear? Did anybody else?
Only the people in the small village in Nicomuris, I swear.
You swear to God.
I swear to whatever is out there.
There's actually several gods, but that's a different subject.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, no.
Okay. Hold on. There's looking at the suit. Do you have any messages stored from Dr. Rose?
I do not have messaging capabilities. My purpose is to restore and maintain bodily function.
Okay.
gonna message Talith back and just be like, what if this is long term and she returns after the body is gone?
Yeah.
At this point, I would imagine it might be best to continue moving forward and seeing if there's more answers that way.
I think we should follow the doctor. See where she went. She went in those doors, never came out, right?
DM, did she go, so did she like come
Her
in from the direction
activity,
of like the chemical storage into that medical room and then through the other way?
The doors probably lead to the rubble doors probably lead to like her private office. That would be your assumption.
Okay.
And didn't she go in those doors and never left?
Those were the last doors that you saw her enter. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Bear, that's a good call. We should head that direction. Your friend is a pretty messed up person. And
yeah, I kind of knew that.
He will.
We didn't pick our friends.
He will release the hypnotic gaze.
She is screaming.
And
I won't scream for safety of the mic, but
as he releases it, he'll kind of be just gently like holding the suit and saying, "Doctor, are you still with us? Are you okay?"
She's flailing around, and the suit is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
But upon hearing your voice, mainly, by the way, it isn't just screaming. She's mainly screaming, "Please no, not in the dark, not again."
Mm-hmm. I hate it.
And then, but she eventually does settle down to your voice, and she's just kind of like, the suit still acts as though it's breathing.
Mm-hmm. Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm sorry. I guess the suit's sensors must have glitched for a second there. I couldn't move.
You're okay now.
I was scared that you left me again.
You're okay. We're all right here. And he'll kind of
Talith. Goodness.
He'll help her kind of to her feet again. And we'll look towards Bear.
Which one? Probably me, right?
Captain Leslie. And he'll kind of give like a head nod. And you get in the sense of saying, "Hey, lead on."
All right, everybody. I think we got past most of the freaky stuff. Likely ahead was just the doctor in the office. We have a nice conversation, and we leave. To the sanitation room we go.
Wishful thinking. Very wishful thinking.
It's all I got right now.
Fantastic.
Just keeps walking forward through the sanitation room.
The now possible. 6 of you plus 2 familiars head towards the medical room. You have to travel through sanitation, sterilization. The room no longer functions. Obviously, there's not enough power and consistent supply to like spray you all down. You're able to pry open the far door into the medical room. Since you have to like move the doors, you assume that there isn't anything. Any of the creatures that were in here are probably not in the medical room. It is pretty much exactly how you last saw it on the screen. You remember how Sirius looked in there. The rubble is on the far side. The screens are like flickering with static, unable to fully form a picture. The liquid is no longer on the floor. It has dried and kind of stained the pale blue linoleum.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do? Are you gonna try to like rifle through the rubble or something?
Well, I'm thinking the door is only like half covered by rubble, right?
Yes. It's specifically the doors do swing towards you, which is the main problem.
Right.
Well, I think Leslie would like to attempt something, and if there's things we need to do before this, that's fine. But
Sure.
Leslie, he'll say to the group, I know a way that I can knock on the door and feel pretty confident that she'd open them. We used to have a secret knock during the rebellion. I could give that a try.
You hear it from the suit. She goes,
Did you just sneeze? Bless you.
She goes, you knew her during the rebellion?
Oh, well, yes. That was the unfortunate circumstances that we met. You could say we were friends. We worked together.
She seems to be. She doesn't respond. She seems to be in thought.
Her visor goes red, and she's like, threat. And
Don't
she's
give him ideas.
exterminate.
Compilation, and it's just a bunch of clips of Leslie revealing that he was part of the rebellion by accident.
In the worst places and timings
and it has
possible.
to start with him being like, I can't let anyone know. And then
Like, the entire group.
Man, when I was in the rebellion, this
Yes.
Wait, what?
He's wearing like tight. I don't know why this is what popped in my head, but like yoga pants, but instead of juicy and rhinestones, it says rebellion. So he walks
just
past
like-
people and they're like,
It's not even that word. It's like you don't just say you're in the rebellion. You're like, man, when I was captain of the rebellion, that was the biggest event of all kind.
back when I was known as Captain Leslie.
for Leslie to like, all right, guys, I need to put on a disguise so no one knows that I'm Captain Leslie. And then the disguise that he has like rebellion written in rhinestones on the butt. And then it says like, you can call me Captain is like what the shirt says.
I have a big button. I survived the rebellion.
Oh dear.
And then like his hat has like an anarchy symbol on it.
Leslie walks slowly, almost stalking like that of a cat. Or more specifically, a lion. And he creeps towards the door. And he puts one foot up on the rubble and leans in and knocks.
You pause for a moment. Another breath. No response comes to you from the other side of the door.
Well, I kind of expected as much, but it was worth a try.
All right.
How are we going to clear this
Can't
rubble?
open the doors because there's rubble in front of them.
Yep.
Yeah, you can clear the rubble with a little bit of effort, though.
Yeah. I mean, let's
Start
just do
clearing
that.
the rubble, I guess.
Is there any?
I
Midori,
know-
have anything?
Yes,
I know someone I'd nickname effort.
like the
Yeah,
first.
Addie has 2 shovels. She's dual wielding shovels.
But I
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of want to see if I could do a. I guess this would technically count. I still get so confused between history and wisdom. I don't know why. My brain hurts, but I want to say well,
What's your desired outcome?
basically, I want to check the room to see if there's any additional documents, chemicals, medicine
It would be
of.
investigation.
Well, it's big, but I'm trying to see if I can think back on the notes that I took from Matt Vay's house
Mhm.
and see if there's anything of that that's here that I could possibly.
I would allow investigation or medicine because there
I'll
are
do
documents
medicine.
around.
Can I do medicine? Question
But
mark?
like, yes, absolutely. But specifically,
fast.
like relating it to what you already have. Yes.
Addie's gonna ready an action. I need to go use the restroom. Addie's readying an action. If anyone gets attacked, she's throwing a hatchet.
Stabs.
I'll be right back.
Throwing a massive hatchet.
I love it.
I was gonna say earlier with the digging, Addie mentioned dual wielding axes. She didn't even say what kind of axes, so they're just dual wielding pickaxes.
Yeah.
Just gonna just
Yeah, pickaxes. It's like trench axes that are like part shovel, part blade.
You guys
What's
know
your
the animation of the guy who works on the railroad, and then there's the big company.
absolutely.
What's his name?
Babe? No.
Henry.
That was the name of his
John Henry. That's what it
John
is.
Henry.
John
yes.
Henry.
Addie is John Henry.
That is a
Yeah.
fantastic animation, by the way.
Really good.
He's only
It's
lit by
really
the
good.
sparks from the hammers. That's
Oh,
radical.
so good.
Oh my
What's your
gosh.
medicine check, Medora?
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
You see a lot of things that are very similar to what you've uncovered with Quick Steel. You think that a lot of this research is pretty old. Like this is, I mean, there's some references to like the original use of Quick Steel, like in basically like drugging the privateers that were hired to end the revolution.
Right.
And kind of the effects that it would have, mainly the like degrading effects that like slowly like rot the body and rot the mind. The newer stuff that references its ability to like preserve the body and mind is few and far between. Most of the notes that would be prevalent, you don't really see here. You clear away the rubble, open the doors. It's relatively easy. Inside of the room, there are cables and computers and like tablets and altars for magic. Every conceivable like medical and magical component that you can think of is like crammed into this room. There are shelves filled with medical textbooks, arcane grimoires, loads of information. You do also see that if someone, I'll have Talith do it because he has the highest chance of success, most likely. Could you roll an Arcana check just to kind of see what you know about the room, like see what all the stuff is?
Also, question: would my detect magic still be going by chance? 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. It only takes you about 6 minutes to clear that rubble.
Okay. Would that help me at all in this?
I'll just tell you what the detection sees once you roll this.
Perfect. Okay, great. Oh my word! Seriously.
I believe
You
in
need to
you.
step it up here.
I'll give you advantage because you have people assisting you while searching around the room.
I'll also give him guidance. A little dap.
Me and my
And I'll
negative
give him-
modifier will not be assisting. We will
Thanks.
watch it.
I'll give him a helpful wink.
Well, with the pats on the back from everybody,
You raise me up
24.
so I can roll double digits.
You raise me up.
Thanks, Grant. You mainly see there's actually not a lot of purely magical things in here that are picked up by detect magic.
Okay.
You are able to tell that there are like magical inscriptions that would form something of a teleportation circle that is no longer functionable.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I figured.
Very, very slapstick kind of one use teleportation circle.
Aw, one use. Darn.
Yes, Oda?
Oda is scavenging the room for medical supplies.
Oh, 100%.
Bandages, antiseptics, scalpels. He's taking a look at some of the textbooks. If there's ones that he hasn't read before, he's going to snag those too.
Yeah, loot the medicine.
There's probably
I feel
a lot
that,
of questionably, like morally questionable things
there are
in here.
a lot of banned medical
Just so you
instruments
know.
in this room.
Oda's a morally questionable doctor,
Let's go.
They don't call him the doctor of war for nothing, so.
I'll say Medora's also searching, but for more of the naturalist
another medical
medicine.
For me.
Yes.
Or in nature, one of the two.
Leslie is
I will do
searching for
medicine.
friendship, for lost friendship in this doctor.
DM, the teleportation circle, that's like the most significant thing that I see.
Yes, that is the most significant thing in the room.
Is there enough to tell perhaps where it's sent her?
Yes, absolutely. And with that Arcana check, you would know that it teleports somewhere on the moon.
Okay, on Toru.
Somewhere on Toru.
Now we can be for sure.
Medora, what did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
15. You find a number of things. You're also, I imagine, keeping your eye out for more of those texts related to quick steal.
Mm-hmm.
You do specifically, while you're searching through, most of the naturalist medicine is no longer very good. There's like the dried herbs that are still functional. You do find a little leather-bound book that appears to be Rachel's like notes, or at least some of them, kind of a diary of sorts in some ways. The main things that you glean on a quick read through, the most important thing is you see no reference to specifically divinity. You don't see that text anywhere. So you don't think that the divinity stuff that you couldn't figure out what it was from Piran has any purpose here. Additionally, you kind of scan through this book. You do find plans for Dr. Anna Rose to basically unlock not only the patients, but also the prison cells on the moon down below.
Oh, girl was insinuating anarchy.
Hey,
Let's
guys,
go! Revolution!
She
guys,
also mentions that her plan is to seek safe haven with a prisoner named Rograk on the moon below.
I don't happen to know of Rograk. Never heard that name, have I?
Hey,
Or me.
Leslie, real quick question.
Yeah.
With your crew, did you ever know somebody called Rograk, possibly?
Roll a history check for me.
Rograk.
Curious.
Certainly sounds like a name that I would remember.
16?
14. I rolled a 14.
Rograk is a name that you recall. It is not from the rebellion. You can't remember exactly why you know this name, but you know that they were a criminal who was arrested before the rebellion occurred, like several years before the rebellion.
Yeah, I definitely know that name, but I don't know it through the rebellion. It was I think it was a criminal or something, but that all happened before the rebellion ever started, as far as I'm aware. I think. Could be a different one.
That's good to know, but I kind of like try to yell at least like loud enough where everybody can hear me in the room. But yeah, guys, I found a pretty valuable book here, and the plans, although very nice and very, very organized, holy cow, aren't looking too hot.
May I see?
No.
Well, my, no, I'd rather keep this to myself. Already know too much. And honestly, most of the information is the same, But what you said, you kind of clocked it, where our next stop is probably going to have to be the moon. Tonight, we go to the moon.
Do you have reason? We sealed the moon. That was literally Rose. Do you mean that whatever's in that book paints her in a bad light?
Not even, I don't know. From reading it, granted, this is a slight glance. Hopefully later on I can possibly read more into it. Overall, it's neither good nor bad, but something's up.
Human experimentation, release of prisoners, escaping with criminals. Who knows if it's bad though?
I'm on the side. Look, I'm on the side of she's like, let's fight the power. Let's get these rebellers out of prison. You know what I'm saying? I still think there's a chance, right, that she's on our
King
side.
of positivity.
Yeah,
You're so keen on giving these people second chances. You're so keen. We don't know who this person is anymore. So many things, so many events can happen to change somebody.
In his defense, he's keen for his fellow rebels. to get out, people he fought alongside. It's not everyone that he's keen to have escaped. It's people who were put in wrongfully.
Keep in mind that some of the prisoners on this moon might be my friends. And if they were able to escape because of her efforts, that's something that I can celebrate.
At this point, are they your friends? Like, at this point? Would they even think of calling you a friend? Or will they throw you in the dust like how they did before?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. But you all have encouraged me to hope. That's something that I lost. And I found it again, and I'm going to keep it. Even if it's unlikely.
Then.
While this whole conversation is happening, DM, is there a access console in this room or like some sort of computer?
Yeah, something of the likes.
Okay. Is it still like on and open and working at all, or is it like completely shut down?
It is like the rest of the facility. It is not provided enough power to really do much of anything.
Okay. That's fine.
The screen is kind of fuzzy. It gives you that weird static feeling of like old TVs when you get your like face too close.
Okay.
Exactly that feeling. I forgot. It has a smell too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If we're going to
smell the ozone, baby.
If we're going to keep making progress.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, for sure.
If we're going to keep making progress, does it make sense to try and get that generator on? That way, any of the devices we'd want to investigate have power, or we have the ability to get to the moon?
I don't think
certainly that's the next step. What? I mean, how are we getting through?
No, we'll still need the generator on if we want to get through, but we won't have time to do any additional investigation. As soon as the power turns on, all those subjects will know that somebody is still here. If we don't encounter them before that point, meaning
that is a good point.
Somehow, luckily, we are lucky enough not to encounter them before we turn this place back on, we're going to want to try and make a very quick escape. Because they'll be
turn it on and dash.
Subjects, you think the 6 subjects are still in this facility?
Most definitely.
Those were only the subjects you saw in this facility. That's assuming that there are ones in each of the others.
Yes,
right?
Totally. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
Likely.
So we turn it on and run. That's what we do on the skirmisher. We run a lot of the time.
Mixed in your head. Mixed company. Leslie.
Secrets. You are terrible at this.
It's a statement. It's a saying. You know, it's a saying back from the time. It's just meant to inspire and bring people together. Yeah. I'm writing a book on this. You know.
Fair.
That's true. That is true.
The doctor does not respond.
Stop talking.
Does the suit respond, or is it no response at all?
He blushes cutely.
What?
Oh yeah, it's really cute.
Dr. Whale, do you know? Is there only one way between levels within this facility, or are there multiple points of access?
The only way up and down is either through the stairs or the elevator. The elevator would not be functioning on low power.
That's right.
How quickly does the elevator function when there is enough power?
The elevator would be one of the last things that is rebooted.
Probably be best to just run up the stairs again.
Okay, well, let's keep moving then.
To the generator.
As you head out of the room...
Can I make DM? This might be impossible for me to do since, she has a suit on. Can I make an insight check on Dr. Whale at all?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Lovely. I appreciate
Can I help him with that?
No.
My passive in...
If you would like to also make an insight check, you can.
I'm sure, yeah.
My passive insight is so much better. 12.
23.
23. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. The suit without a face, tough
hard
to read.
Yeah.
Tough to read.
It's just standing there.
Oda's been watching her for a while. We've been hanging out.
Yeah, body movement.
Did she do any finger tenting, any hand
any
maliciously?
any twitches
find
when
out my secrets and that I'm secretly leading them to the.
No, you kind of compile the things that you've heard her and the way that she's been acting. You know for a fact that she is very afraid, and she has been for a very long time. You have also noticed that she has a deep respect for Dr. Anna Rose, and that from what you know of Dr. Anna Rose, it requires a very particular type of person to get along with her.
That's kind of what I was afraid of. Most likely,
she does not particularly care for any particular side in anything. She cares about her research, and she cares about not being in pain, and she cares about leaving this place. So regardless of how on the fence she is about, like, what if the rebellion, because you also know, like, she questioned whether or not you're from command. She probably has some loyalty to the coalition. Her first goal is escape this place without dying.
You know what they say? Hurt people. So I don't trust her.
Amen, brother.
I don't really trust her either.
Preach.
But I don't know. I like her. We can keep her around. Maybe bring her along.
We're gonna hold her at arm's length because she will sell us out to the government in an instant if she thinks that's gonna keep her safer than we will.
She knows too much, Oda. She knows too much.
I also imagine this conversation is happening in like
100%.
Well, the
open
conversation
too.
isn't.
It was just an inside check.
Yeah. No, you see Talith and Oda kind of look over their shoulder.
like look at each other, look back at the doctor.
The conversation's like, she knows too much. Like, I think that conversation.
They look at each other.
I was like, should we just kill her now? Oda's like, maybe we should wait a second, you know?
Because you see Oda look over and there's this deep, like, history, and, like, he's, like, compiling all these pieces. And then you see Talith look back and he goes, like, you can see the thought processes going. And he's like, that suit is really irritating. I can't. Man, that sucks. Like, just kind of hits a brick wall on that one. You guys head to the stairs. You head down the third and lowest floor of this facility.
Oh God! Cue the spooky ambience.
It is also the largest floor of this facility. The stairs that you descend to the left. Why did I close my notebook? What am I thinking? I need that.
Welcome to the part of the dungeon where the DM scrolls through
my thousand books. Once again, the basement pulses with a dimmed warning light flashing red, giving a crimson tint to the rest of the room. At the far end of this 130-foot long room, you see the generator. It is massive. It looks, the shape of, like, the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. Just a huge, massive magic furnace that converts magical energy into power. You can see magical circuits and altars that are, like, raised against the side of this room. Places for mages to cast magic to power and inspect and maintain. Above you, there are steel catwalks that stretch, and various cables and equipment dangle from them left in a hurry. All around you, the stench of death lingers in the air. As you enter, directly in front of you, to your left, open rooms into what you assume to be the barracks are located. The floor is stained red and sticky with blood. There are, unlike the previous floor, there are bodies here. Strewn throughout this floor are corpses that have been pummeled and beaten and almost mushed by just raw physical force. Strewn all about the facility. Dr. Hatira will say, I know how to get the system online. Would you like me to do that? Or do you have a different plan?
While we figure out the plan, I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to cast Warding Bond on Addie.
Sounds good. We love a good Warding Bond.
It
just,
start
you
up
just
the
see Oda
generator.
like start praying and do his holy symbol. He just puts a hand on your shoulder.
Don't touch
I'll
me.
be honest, everyone. I'm feeling pretty freaked out. I think we just start this thing up and get out of here as fast as we can.
Do we want the doctor to do it, or do we
She's
have a
the only
different
one
plan?
who knows how to do
She said
it.
she can.
What does it take to get the generator turned back on?
The generator is currently in low power mode. What that means is that it cycles energy with an attempt to build enough to restart the system as a whole. It is a passive energy gatherer that, in order to run at full capacity, needs people. But once the code is logged in, it should be able to start up core functions at max for a limited amount of time, with the assumption that mages are going to be providing it energy going forward. If energy is not provided by mages within the next 2 hours, the system will return to low power mode.
So we'll have 2 hours to get down, find the doctor, and get out.
Theoretically, leaving would be easier because once it enters into low power mode for the second time, the barrier will be critical. Almost non-functional.
So we fly in, and we should be able to get out if it's critical.
Assuming that your ship is fast.
Oh, it's fast. Not as fast as the skirmisher ever was.
Do you have to be the one to enter the code, or can somebody else do it?
Are you actually from command?
Who is she asking? Talith, I assume?
The room.
Damn, I was gonna hope you were gonna make Drew answer it.
No.
Then you do not have the clearance to access these codes.
Look at that. Honesty is the best policy.
Okay.
So you unlock it?
I will operate the generator.
Bless
as
your
long
heart.
as you take me with you when you leave.
I turn to the rest of the group. Okay. Leslie, you stay back. Watch out for any threats. Try and slow them down as much as you can. Medora, Oda, try your best to keep close to everyone. Do your best to run interference in the in-between, and if you have to, jump in and help. Addie and I will accompany the doctor towards the generator, and we will cover her back as she gets things going. As soon as things get going, we book it out of here as fast as we can. I will say this. Don't worry about me. I know I'm crafty enough to find my own way out if I have to.
You sure? All right.
I have allowed you to pull strength from me, so you'll be a little tougher. But you have to stay within 60 feet of each other, so I'll stick to you.
Okay.
Could I have everyone roll initiative?
Oh boy.
Already? We haven't even started the generator yet.
Oh,
as you guys are rolling initiative. Scared me.
Do we level up at the end of this session?
Well, first I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask for your rolls. 25 to 20.
22.
Okay. 19 to 15.
Addie, come on. Where you at, girl?
14 to 10.
It's bad.
Addie, no.
Mine's bad too, Addie.
Addie, no.
Later.
God, no one on the 14 to 10 route?
Wait,
9 to 5. Dolly Parton it.
Wait, 5. Maybe 6 if I don't think warding bond. It's to
Wait, yeah, let me.
throws, not.
You get a +1 to your AC.
And
You
saving
have
throws.
resistance to all
And saving throws.
damage.
So yeah, 5.
Okay.
Let me double check.
Hold on. Gosh dang.
Talith also?
I also rolled a 5.
Wow.
Okay. Who has the higher dexterity? Probably Addie.
I have a
15.
+2.
I also have a +2.
What's your score, Drew?
15.
14.
Okay, so Addie will go first.
Dang.
Let's go. Take that.
And then
Talith.
4 to
Just
0.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Excellent.
Leslie's just a little freaked out. He's a little distracted at the red flashing lights and bodies.
Into initiative, that's where we're going to end today's episode. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun. I do have
That
a
was
question.
a great one.
Now, and now, mind you, you still need to take a long rest for a level up to occur.
Oh, I see how you are. Trying to make sure we don't stack the odds in our favor just before combat.
I just want to set a precedent, I just want to set a precedent, make sure that we understand how the rules work. I suppose technically I'll allow it up to a vote. Do you think that you guys should have to take a long rest before you get to level up with this?
I think so. It's
Yes.
more interesting.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Oh, we're going to have interesting character moments of different level up at different times. We can't take a long rest. Anyway, sorry.
fantastic.
Or we could like Pokemon evolve on the spot when we gain enough.
I do need to ask, do you guys level up?
No.
Guys, I'm
Don't.
so sorry. I feel like we don't level up this time, but
Done the grand event yet? We haven't.
Okay.
like the event is about to happen.
Drew is
right?
seething with anger. Look at him glaring at us, guys. He's like, this is the third time in a row. We should have leveled up when we
Drew
did
a
it.
no last time?
Okay. First of all, I was a yes last episode. I was a no when we just finished the Coliseum stuff. The only reason that I am seething, which is like, okay, it's your guys' vote. Vote how you want to vote. That's not that big a deal. I'm just a
Drew will
little
take it to heart.
confused by DJ and Grant's.
What do you mean?
Because we've done
What do you
even
mean here?
more stuff since then, and you've decided that for some reason now we haven't leveled up.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, you guys are
I
great.
So-
voted yes. When it was cool, we finished up with the combat, the Coliseum, we saved people, we did things. Since then, it's been a lot of narrative.
Okay, but
Narrative's good.
we've still done all of those things, and we've just added on to that argument. That's
I'm
what I'm
challenging
pointing out.
my answer.
I want you guys to know I got this idea. I don't even remember what stream I watched that they used this, and this exact conversation happened the episode that I watched that stream. So I just want to point out, I think that we have a majority on no's.
Wait,
Grant,
Grant, even if you change your vote, that's still 3 no's.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I just have to put in my 2 cents real fast, okay? It has been a long time since our last level up. Like you mentioned, we've done combat, we've done stealth, we've done this and that. Leslie is finding his friends. So for me, I feel Leslie's to that point. So I will change my answer to yes, but I know that doesn't change the outcome. That's just my feelings about it.
And to Aaron's credit, to Aaron's point, what he just mentioned of we'll level up when we get the next long rest, means that it wouldn't be for the combat. It'd be after we do the combat and we get to take a long rest, and that's when we'd actually level up.
Oh,
So we wouldn't even be at the end of the next episode. It'd be like in the middle of the episode. I think I'm going to vote yes, though.
Oh my gosh.
You can't just keep flip-flopping around on your answers. If this
Welcome to my answer. My answer is yes.
This is a discussion, right?
If it's on that technicality where we will technically level up halfway into the next episode on the long rest, then I will change to yes. If it's on the technicality, that's the
fun thing about this is it means that I have to be prepped for both the level up in the middle of the episode.
You've made your own lives more difficult.
I was just getting started. I'm already.
Congratulations. You will get to level up when you next take a long rest.
Woo! Good job, everybody.
I will declare this now.
For another 3 sessions.
Thank you for everyone who stuck it out. I know that, once again, special shout out to Gracie. I know that you have some pretty bad jet lag. So I'm so happy that you're here and sticking it out with the rest of us. Thank you to all of the people watching us. We could not do this without you. You're so important. We're so happy to have you be here. I hope that you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to my players. You were great tonight. I hope that you enjoyed everything that was going on.
You did so good, Aaron. It was such a fun session.
Shout out to the backers. Check your emails. Fill out surveys. Please, God, please do it. Please. I think that is all that I have, to my knowledge, except for the thing that I say every single week, which is good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night.